What the fuck is up, party people? My name is Mystery, and welcome to the first episode of the FDN podcast. This time I am joined by my friend Tristan. Say hello.
What's up?
And we are also joined by Pickle Nugget.
Oh, tis I.
It is him. So, are we ready to start this? We're going to start with Curse. Everyone is in the chat. I don't know how many people we got. I think, 9 people are watching. Kind of based. Let's hop right in. So, we're going to go off of the order that I made ahead of time, and we're going to talk about what I think is the worst team. Jacking off, which I think is accurate. He's got Darmanitan Galar, Kartana, Mega Altaria, Rotom Heat, my boy, Cresselia, Mienshao, Empoleon, Gligar, Random Pangoro, Ditto, and Thwackey. So, who wants to start on this? Because I have my own comments, but I'll spread the love around.
Personally, let me think. It doesn't look that bad on paper. It just, you notice stuff like Empoleon and Kartana, not the best steel types out there in terms of defensive capabilities.
That was one of the first things I saw. The steals aren't really the greatest steals that you would want on a team.
Good hazard removal. Wish there was a rapid spinner, but it's like always a complaint. Whatever. Decent initiative. Honestly, I don't think any of the drafts here are like super far apart.
No, I think I think what was it? Hex I think is probably like the worst overall drafts. Like they're all really bunched together. Curse is just like everyone's really close together, but they're not bad. I don't know. This team though, it's like Pangoro and Mienshao. It's like, why do you have both? Cresselia I think is really really bad in Gen 8. That mon it's extremely passive, and if you're not stupid, you're not going to lose to it. Ditto is awful, and I'll get into that with I'm pretty sure he was drafted in like every division.
Yeah.
Wow.
One time I took Ditto thinking that it would be a cool mon. It very much is not a cool mon. Like,
Ditto
that thing is so bad.
Ditto is so ass.
I will say there's like very large lack of like Rotom Heat as your special offense. That's it.
Exactly, and that's what I was gonna get to. Is like you're
The
doing
only
like
special offense you really have here now that I look at it is like, unless you run like offensive Empoleon or something.
Dude, that shit goes hard.
It seems like all the physical attackers are competing with each other.
Yeah,
well.
I think Pangoro needs to go.
Yeah.
I'd like you to find even Uxie. I think is way better in Gen 8 than Cresselia. It helps your team more and more initiative. Get a better steel to pair with Kartana, because having 2 steels and neither of them resist, or obviously steel will never resist fire, but having a water that doesn't resist fire sucks, and that's also your extra steel. I don't know. Gligar's fine. Thwackey's a low tier, but I would probably just kind of consolidate your points a little bit, move some of these shitty mons down, and try to get some more special attackers and kind of make the team flow a little bit more. Because it's definitely not great.
Still some decent water types on the board too. You got like Seismitoad, Swampert, even like a Rockwood if you want something a little lower. It's not too bad. Jellicent. So you got a lot of options. If you can
Jelly
drop down a couple
And
points.
If you were to say drop Pangoro, there are still some dark types available at that tier. Now, this might not go the greatest, but there is still Moltres Galar and Zoroark open at that tier.
I want to try Moltres Galar so bad. That mon seems
Zoroark actually wouldn't even be that bad, because you already have a lot of like ground.
Yeah, imagine trying to switch into Zoroark and Darmanitan Galar, trying to figure out which one it is. That'd be fucking annoying.
That'd be great, because they're special attack.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm basically
Zoroark.
I wasn't really thinking. I was mainly just naming mons that share a type in that tier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely. I think this team has potential if you just move some of the stuff around. It looks like kind of just drafted mons that you like, maybe. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to work with here. So yeah, if we want to move on to the next one, I have the Hey Kid. Now this team on paper doesn't look awful. It's just like when you kind of break it down, it's like, what's the star on this team? You have absolutely no star power at all. Spectre is kind of bad.
Because the most expensive mon is 50 points.
Yeah, exactly. This looks like my friend Monster, how he drafts is nothing above 15 points.
My initial impression of this is that this is the Moneyball Oakland A's of the Curse division.
Yes.
There's no stars. There's just a bunch of decent mons. Well, actually, not decent. There are actually some mons that I really do like here, like Mamoswine and Zapdos Galar.
Yeah, I'm a big Zap
But
G guy.
I will say I don't like Spectrier as much in a Nat Dex setting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason I've only taken it in G-Dex in the one G-Dex draft I ever did. And even still there, it hardly hit the field, and it was overshadowed by other mons on the team.
People just draft normal types or dark type. Like those are good
Yeah,
typings to have.
the
and-
fact that Dragapult exists really just makes Spectrier a rough second place.
It's even worse in like Natdex Legacy when Pursuit's allowed. That mon is kind of ass.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even say that Spectrier is the second best ghost in the format.
No, I wouldn't either.
No,
Gengar's
Gengar.
definitely
Yeah,
better.
definitely Gengar.
I would still say Gengar and maybe even Blacephalon is ahead of it.
I would rather draft
yeah.
Blacephalon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frosty says this team doesn't support spec, what you need to do. I mean, yeah, I think Zap G is pretty cool for Spectrier, like just as a
Yeah,
1-2 punch.
Zapdos Galar Spectrier is very cool together, but I feel like the support kind of ends there, unfortunately.
100% agree. 100% agree. Shuckle is dog shit. I'm gonna say this for everybody: please do not draft like lead Pokemon in draft. It is so bad. Like
Yeah.
Shuckle,
Oh,
Smeargle,
don't.
those Pokemon are all terrible, and
There's a reason they're that low.
they don't help you. They're not good Pokemon, so please do not draft them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'd say that goes for Azelf too, but that's just because I have a personal vendetta against Azelf.
Yeah, I don't think Azelf's that.
Me too.
Azelf is definitely not that guy.
No, Azelf is terrible.
Yeah. My friend James, he might be joining us in a little bit here. He loves that Pokemon, but it's pretty fucking garbage. I'm gonna keep it real.
James, you better not join because
Is James in?
we're absolutely
No, you don't have to bring it up when he's here. It's
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, we can move on to the next one unless anyone else has anything to say. We're gonna go to Vikavolt is Epic. His team being Mega Mawile, Volcarona, Latias, Nihilego, Hippowdon, Crobat, Vaporeon, Scrafty, Rotom, Normal, Frostlass, and Eldegoss. I actually think this team is pretty solid. Like, I think the bottom two are much worse, like, overall teams. I think from here on out, it's, like, the teams are really solid. I don't think you help Mawile very much with this team. Like, the initiative is really, really bad.
that was my initial impression. A lot of the top Mons just seem like ones that just want to do their own thing and they don't really work together much.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, there's almost no initiative for Mawile either, which is super huge. All you have is Vaporeon and Crobat, and then if you want to bring normal Rotom, I guess.
Yeah, that's my thing. I also think Frostlass is beyond terrible. I fucking hate that Pokemon. People won't have an Ice or a Ghost, and they'll be like, oh, I guess I'll just put Frostlass on. And that mon is
I don't
awful.
mind Frostlass.
Yeah, I
actually.
don't really think it's that
Look,
bad.
I know I'm alone in this camp. I just think it's shit. it's so.
I mean, I'm not saying it's good. It's 6 points for a
If I don't
reason,
have another thing that I need on my team besides typings, I think Frostlass isn't bad because it's a decent speed tier and got its stat buffs in Gen 8. And
got spikes, and you will admit that Ice Ghost is a pretty good offensive typing.
I think it's fine.
It's okay. Yeah. As for Crobat, the one thing about it that sucks is it's a poison that's off the ground, but then you drafted Nihilego, so that's nice for him. Your speed isn't amazing outside of Crobat. Like, everything is below 110. And Crobat, although it's fast, isn't, something that puts a lot of pressure on a ton of Pokemon, so you have to worry about that. Removal is pretty solid. I mean, Latias, Volcarona technically, Crobat, Rotom, Eldegoss.
But yeah, Crobat's probably going to be the main defogger here, which isn't terrible.
And then for rockers, you have Nihilego, Hippowdon, and that's and Mawile. Yep. So not terrible either.
Oh yeah, and Frostlass for spikes at least.
But yeah, looking at this team, I would really just please go get some more initiative into Mawile. You're going to hate Mawile because it just will never have a chance to get in, and you're going to blame it for the wrong reasons. Something I love with him is Greninja, and you could really use that higher. Actually, I think Greninja's taken in this tier, or in this division. I don't know exactly.
I'm looking at the tier list, and both.
Greninja does not seem to be taken now.
Oh no, he is by Jason Gallade, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Slowking's available. I guess that could be interesting with Maw.
Yeah, like
That
for
would
teleport.
require
It's not bad.
that
It's total psychic.
trick room, but that would require getting rid of a top tier, which would be iffy.
Oh, James is here. Oh shit, we gotta try and add him in now. This should be fun. Um, how do I
Also,
do
just
this?
side note, absolutely love Scrafty. Like, it's Scrafty's cool.
Scrafty can be cool, but I don't like Scrafty. I think it's pretty bad. At least you got a dark type of knockoff. That's all I'll say.
James, you have to request to join. I can't just add you.
There's a button at the bottom, James. Click on the little hand.
There
he
go.
is.
Oh fuck!
And
I
then
just
it'll
declined
show-
it one more time. Sorry.
This is great.
Easy. All right. He should be in now.
Another thing I just kind of noticed: what exactly does Sand do for this team?
I don't
Other
think a
than,
lot.
like,
No,
other
I
than,
don't.
like, boosting Nihilago's already okay special defense.
James, I sent the request to you, so whenever you're able to join, it's all you.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think Hippowdon is here for Sand in the first place, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, fair enough.
No,
I
I
don't
mean, like, I've had
know what
teams
other
where I have, like,
ground type-
Diancie, Hippowdon, and that's, like, the sand part of it. You know, sand is, it's not really, like, the part of this team. Hippowdon's just a good Pokemon. I like that
Yeah.
on the ground.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like that just might end up just giving some Mons like unnecessary chip or whatever. But there is a good amount of recovery, so I don't feel like that'll be that big of an issue.
There's also like no ground types left in that general range.
James, you gonna join or not?
Besides Landorus, if you draft in Diggersby, wow.
Oh, Diggersby.
Pick
Do
up
you guys know how to
Diggersby
join?
if you
Can you
want.
tell him? Because he's
It's
trying
at the
his
top
best
of your
right
screen, James. There should be a thing, the green bar that says accept. You should be able to join from there.
now. There he is.
Yo!
Fucking finally, Christ. Welcome to the pod.
I'm freaking retarded, alright?
Whoa! Let's not.
Language.
Alright, I'm here. What are we on?
So we just finished up with our third worst team in Curse. We're going from Curse up. After that, we got, I think, the first one to actually be in the call, unless Jason, or no, unless Vicoville, Hey Kid, or jacking off, is Glimpse. I have Glimpse's team at number 9. Let's find him on the dock, because I'm fucking
He is
blind.
the first.
There we go.
Right, so first things first, took some Mons that I personally hate on this team.
Chansey.
I don't
maybe the
I
worst.
don't really know why you took Chansey, especially when Blissey is still open.
Exactly. Well, all right, let's read it off for the people that are just in the call and they can't see it. Mew, Mega Scizor, Gliscor, Keldeo, Silvally, Chansey, Whimsicott, Drapion, Rotom Frost, Blipbug, and Scorbunny.
Whew.
Yeah, no, it's rough. What I think I like about this team is that it's still salvageable. Like, there's so many of these garbage mons down here at the bottom that I think you can flip for better value.
Yeah, like
And the top
At least-
4 is awesome.
Exactly.
the top 4 is amazing. It definitely does kind of stop being cool after the top 4,
Yep.
though.
Your speed is
I would-
Whimsicott.
Now this is like, now with the bottom 2, I still feel like that definitely works against you because, like, at least with 1 point, there's still some 1 point mons that you can at least use.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like
to an
Mystery
extent.
Bliss
There's a
is-
couple
you know.
knocked out.
Yeah, like you could have
Oh,
taken
man.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you could have like taken Pikachu or something. Like, I mean, actually, now that I'm looking at it, you could have taken Luminion, and that actually wouldn't have been terrible because you don't have a defensive water. Because
Yeah,
right now
honestly.
you'd either have to run Water, Silvally, or Keldeo.
Um,
Legitimately, I do feel like Luminion is slept on occasionally, even though it is still definitely a Luminion.
you can do worse. I mean, it definitely for
Yeah.
1 point, especially when you have Keldeo. Getting a bulky water is usually the way you want to go with it.
Yeah, you
Um,
want a second water with Keldeo. So
Yeah, nothing too
Uh,
crazy
Also,
expensive.
just a
but-
random side note: when Arceus gets home compatibility, Luminion's gonna get Roost, which I think is
Oh,
cool.
that's fucking great.
seriously, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. There
Yeah,
we go.
Luminion's getting Roost, so now it can come in, Storm Drain, Toxic, U-turn, and then like Roost or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it has
and it can-
defog.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it gets
does have
defog
defog.
with. Yeah, and it already has defog. So honestly, Luminion wouldn't be bad over like Scorbunny.
Yeah, I
or
really wish you
something.
would have picked that over Scorbunny. Absolutely. because that shit is useless. Or Blipbug. Why is that here? But yeah, like I'm not a big Drapion guy. It's a dark type though for you and a poison type. Whimsicott is fucking terrible. Also, James left. So
Yeah, absolutely hate Whimsicott.
Whimsicott is so bad
one
in
time
draft.
one time I took it, I panicked and like took it like round 5 or 6
Oh
because like
Jesus!
every other fairy had gotten sniped from me, and I wanted to lock down a fairy. And then the person that sniped Sylveon from me initially dropped it after 3 weeks, and I dropped Sylveon, or I dropped Whimsicott for Sylveon
No,
immediately.
I don't blame you. But I mean, like, honest to
Brought
God,
it. Okay, no joke. This this mon needed to run specs to kill Hydreigon,
like
a
with
mon that it
Moonblast.
hit. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because I had Blacephalon on the team that season, so Hydreigon was running Spadef,
Mm.
No,
and
that's fair. Yeah.
not only did I need to run specs, I needed to run modest to kill a Hydreigon.
But yeah, in terms of speed on the team, Whimsicott very terrible. So really, what I think you need
Yeah.
to do is just drop from like Chansey to Blipbug. Honestly, get some speed.
Yeah.
Put Blissey on instead of Chain. It's one more point, and it's way better. Especially in actually, it might be two
So
more in this league. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think it's
Um,
2 more. But
okay.
also, you could probably drop. Honestly, I don't mind Rotom Frost.
No, I
That's
think
just me
Rotom
though.
Frost is fine.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it's
I'm a
fun.
big fan of the Rotom forms. Um,
Yeah, I think Rotom can stay, but everything else below Chansey and Chansey itself can probably go. Um,
we want to move on. I think we're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, next up would be Nada Doc, who has my least favorite, actually like third least favorite draft Pokemon: Celesteela, Zeraora, Latios, Slowbro, Terrakion, Weezing Vikavolt, Mega Camerupt, Guzzlord, Kangaskhan, and Quilladin. Um, there's so much going on
Okay.
here, dog. Like, I hate
okay,
Celesteela.
there is a lot happening here.
Exactly, and like, why do you have Camerupt? I mean, he's okay, I guess, but like, I definitely
Don't diss the camel, man. Camel is cool.
yeah, he's really cool when he dies to every water move that's ever existed ever. Um,
True, I did see it die to a Vanillix Water Pulse once.
oh, I gotta James, you gotta send in your invite if you want to rejoin. Um, after that, I don't know, man. Vikavolt is okay. I think you're just gonna be really relying on your top 6 Pokemon to be there like every week. You're a little
Even
dark
top
league.
6. Not even top 6, like top 5.
Yeah, because Weezing. I mean, I like Weezing Galar. He's on my team. We'll get to that later. But I don't think
A
he should be.
Gym.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I
Totally.
love this team.
Hmm?
Personally, I don't really know if I love this team. Like, you did grab Terrakion, but outside of that, I don't really think it's making. I think like every single one of your top 6 outside of that doesn't appreciate knockoff.
Yeah, basically my thoughts is you got a bunch of cool and good mons, but that's about it. Like you
They're
got
not really doing
cool
much
mons.
together.
Only thing that I can think of is that your team got absolutely mollywalloped by knockoff before you took Terrakion, Weezing, and Guzzlord.
Even
That's
then, like Weezing wants to have recovery most of the time.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah,
Sludge,
basically
doing,
the
like,
only
Super
things I
Steel,
can really switch. I mean, yeah, I mean, to be fair, Terrakion is an incredible knock switch in.
It is, but you still have to play careful with it because it'll die to a coverage move.
But like Crocodile would, I feel like, do really well against this team overall. I know you have the Celesteela,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
yeah.
That's
Again,
why
the
you
reason
run Gravity.
I like to, when I make the team, draft analysis at the end of a draft, I like to take into account like what can this team be, and I think you have a lot of points down here that you could really work with and make something better. Because like you have a bunch of these 5-2, like it just there's so many Pokemon here. I feel like you can kind of get like 2 more good ones and just have like a high-ish tier team, where you have a little bit less depth, but. Because I just don't like your Dark Resist being Guzzlord and Terrakion, and I guess Weezing too, but it just I don't trust it. I feel like you have to play really well with this team to be successful. So we'll have to see.
Starters. For starters, you can drop Quilladin and pick up Pikachu because Pikachu with webs is cool.
You were the biggest fucking Pikachu fan in the world. I've never heard anybody else use this mod, but you know, you almost fucked me up in the playoffs with that, right? Yeah.
Uh,
But pick
like pretty much
Rotom.
1-for-1 traded the Rotom Heat.
Hey, that was Gotom Heat though. He won the championship. That was all him dodging two Kyurem Stone Edges, my man.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I am the Pikachu guy.
Every single
I have
every. Sorry, you go.
I've drafted Pikachu 9 times.
God.
No, and this fucker always does something with it. I hate it. I hate it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I've brought it to 19 games and it has 30 kills.
Look, he's a strong boy. I'll give it to him.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
One
good?
time,
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Hello,
listen to
James.
this. It got me 5 kills in a game and I still lost the game.
You were ass.
I know.
Anyway, James, do you want to give your opinion on the team? We're talking about Not a Doc.
Not a dot. The Michigan Mawwiles. This
Yes.
one.
Yep.
It feels like a lot of the teams that are in this division, just in the fact of like, you had a really strong start and you kind of fell off. Like, I don't know what you guys were talking about, but to me, it's like, looking at it, it feels like a random Terrakion was thrown on here because, like, I guess you don't have like the best Nox swap-ins.
That's
It's just
100%
Wheezing,
why.
which is just Wheezing here, which I know Wheezing doesn't really like its Black Sludge knocked off a whole lot of time just because you're not usually running Pain Split and it loves its recovery.
So wait,
but those
hold
are
up. Is the only removal on this team Wheezing and Latios?
Yeah.
Yep. And the
That's
only
not
hazard setting is Terrakion, Camel,
Invite-
and Webs with Vikavolt.
Does Quillita not get spikes?
Oh, he might. Yeah.
Yeah, and Quilladin.
Still not great.
also your ghost
I
your
have an
ghost swap in
asterisk
is
because of
Guzzlord and King
Quilladin.
is gone.
Yo, that's big Guzz.
I
But
don't
yeah.
I don't mind Guzzlord being, but like, if for me looking at this team, I'd want a high tier dark, especially if you're gonna have two like really pivotal psychic types. I don't know. It just feels like an actual functioning dark should be on this team because you're bringing the Guzzlord to like max 3 games, and if it's coming to more, then your team sucks. So, and like I love the Mega Camo appreciation, and I don't think it's the worst thing in the world here, but it's also like your main ground, and I don't know. It just feels kind of like this team is like you have some cool mons and none of them do really anything for each other.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But
All right.
I've also like used Celesteela, so this mon's cool, but
No.
I feel like it's kind of just taken.
Celesteela is dog. I'm sorry. That mon is ass. But that is my personal
It's gotten
opinion.
definitely worse in Gen 8.
All right. Next up, I have Ben with a 3, not the not Big Meat Ben. So this team is Garchomp, Tapu Koko, Jirachi, Megagera, Halucha, Volcanion, Roserade, Raichu, Lola, Komala, Glaceon, and Masquerain. I think
All right,
first.
so I feel like this is something that I should say because I took Coco Halucha in 3 consecutive seasons of a league.
Loser.
Oh my god, you're that guy.
You are awful.
I'm not anymore. That's why I'm glad I'm not. Halucha, it's bad, man.
It's
Like,
not good.
it's not good. Like, you know it's coming a lot of the time. It can be teched out so many ways. Like, uh-oh, here's the cat out of the bag. So many things can live a hit and just hold red card or something. Like, that's
I will
just
say,
it.
at least, like, if you're gonna draft it, I guess it would be in the lowest division. But still.
Yeah, no, it's the perfect noob killer, 100%. Like, if you're playing someone who has less experience, I think Halucha's going to do great. What I hate about this team is the ground switch-ins are, and as I say this, they're going to get worse. Gyarados before it Mega Evolves, Halucha,
Halucha.
and Masquerain.
Roman.
So, not great
My
on the
God,
team that
yeah.
has Koko Jirachi to have those be your ground switch-ins.
And
Oh,
Volcanion.
yeah. Oh,
Water.
jeez.
So, like,
Pokemon.
banned Landorus will absolutely 6-0 you. You have nothing to switch
There's
in.
also a little issue that I've just noticed, and that is the hazard removal is Coco, Masquerain, and Komala. Oh,
Hey,
and
Volcanion. Yeah, my man.
Yeah, Volcanion.
Lucha gets
I like
default
Volcanion,
too.
actually. I feel like people sleep
Lucha
on
gets
Volcanion.
default.
Oh, Lucha gets defog. Woo.
Oh, yeah, woo. Defog Lucha.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's
just
the
do
only
me a
thing it's
favor.
good for.
Do me a favor, if you ever play someone who has another terrain, just absolutely dupe them out and not bring Coco and just run Halucha with their terrain. It's probably not the best, but I think it'll be very funny.
But honest to God, I just don't like the team. I think the reason I have it a lot higher than some of these other ones is the top three is really, really solid. Volcanian's a
Yeah,
cool role
I
player.
love this top three though.
Yeah, so find a way
To
to
be
really
fair, I
build around
also
that.
like Roserade. Roserade is also cool.
I don't on the team with Coco Jirachi. You have to have a grass that resists ground. I mean, this is brutal.
Yeah, that is
really
well
got
done.
like we
I
got
like
everything.
Roserade as a mon, just not really here.
We got a water weak to ground. We got grass doesn't resist ground. Just got ticking off all the boxes.
Yeah,
Bad
this team is
type. It's not defensive.
this team is destroyed by ground, and more specifically, it's destroyed by Edgequake.
Yeah, there's the only switching is Halucha. So I mean, hey, look, if you want to run defensive Halucha, you know,
every week.
Fizdef Glaceon, Jason Galade says, true.
Possible challenge.
The person with Lele has Lando T. Yeah, that's true. We'll get to that later. Much later, trust me.
Oh.
Yeah, I really don't have suggestions other than please find something to switch into a ground type because this is god awful. But it has a chance. I think you could turn this around. Yeah, you should drop
If you drop the entire bottom half of your draft, you can turn it around.
Yeah.
If you want to use Coco Lucha, by all means, go ahead. But you gotta find something else then.
Also, he copied me with the Komala Glaceon, so fuck you, Ben.
I'm sure all the people are raving.
Hey, Komala is good.
That's a JW team.
Komala is a great 2-pointer. That mod should be like 3 or 4.
People, when they think of draft cores, they think of the John W. cord, and they think of Mysteries Glaceon Komala. Low tier.
No, it's Kartana Pillowswine, the defensive gods.
Oh yes.
John W.
I've forgotten.
They call him John W. Mawile, Dragapult, and then they say Mystery Kartana Pillowswine. That is what they say. All right. Next up, we got Darwa at number 6. So this is about smack dab in the middle. I gotta find his draft. Here we go. So Dragapult.
Right, I'm gonna be honest.
No. Let me read it out. Gotta let the listeners know who we're talking about. Dragapult, Clefable, Excadrill, Mega Charizard Y, Tyranitar, Blastoise, Chestnut, Forretress, Audino, my guy Swoobat, and Jolteon.
Okay, now I'm actually gonna top that. When I initially saw this draft, I really did not like it much. But now that I look at it a lot more, yeah, it's pretty solid.
It's okay.
Ronda number 2.
I like.
Nobody knows what that means. I'm sorry.
What?
I said Geronda number 2, but nobody knows.
Oh, true. Well, yeah, we know who Geronda is. That's the goat. I like his top 6, and I mean honestly, top 7. I think it's all really good. Ground swap-ins are fine. It's basically just like the Gen 6 Stallbreaker core plus Dragapult, which is awesome.
Yeah. Now this is where I'm just gonna come out and say this: get rid of Fortress. That mon is terrible.
That mon is pretty dog. I have to agree.
I do like Audino a decent amount though. I like Swoobat. I mean, I like it as a
you
mon.
like Swoobat, of course. Look, I love Swoop, but he's pretty awful.
Yeah, Swoobat's cool. And honestly, wait, how much is Heliolisk? Because if you
10.
drop Fortress for like, so he'll be 1 point short of Heliolisk if you dropped Fortress for a 1-pointer. That's too bad.
I dropped Swoobat for a 3.
No, you got to keep the swoop.
No, you don't.
Crazy. We're dropping Fortress, but not Swoobat.
Right, but legitimately though, yeah, honestly, Heliolisk could be kind of shisty. No, it's got 2 abilities that work with weather, and you got both of the weathers here technically. So.
Personally, I hate
abilities.
the double weather thing. Like, you can kind of make it work. I guess if you Dragapult Clefable, you can make whatever work. But it's just like, I don't know. It feels like you're going to be clashing with yourself every week, and like when you have one, the other one just doesn't feel very necessary. Plus, since you got Zard Y, if I'm not mistaken, you literally have nothing on your team that works with it. So why do you have it? And Tyranitar. You're not really doing double weather. You just have Charizard Y on a sand team.
James, you've tried to use a core like this before, so do you want to talk about like what you think?
I think it's fine. I think you need to get rid of Fortress. I know he said Heliolisk, and I'm like the biggest Heliolisk person that
Yeah,
like
that would
ever.
give you something to go with Charizard.
It would give you something. I would actually much rather like if you got maybe a low tier one of the like what's it called, chlorophyll users, just
Yeah.
because you have so much like offense anyways. Just something to go with Charizard if you're gonna have it, like Tristan
Yeah,
said,
if
just
you're
because
not
it's
going to get a Sun user for Charizard, I think you should just run
you're.
Charizard.
I agree because then you're just taking like away from Excadrill because Excadrill can't function bulky enough in Sun to function whatsoever. So it doesn't feel necessary to have Charizard
Kind
if
of a
you're just
double-edged
gonna.
sword, Excadrill and Sun, because on one hand, its water
Oh,
weakness is kind of better, but then it's just dies even more to fire moves.
I just think like if you're gonna get a steel type, if I don't know what's available because I haven't looked at this whatsoever, but
Mega Steelix.
like you know, but yeah, I don't think Fortress is like super necessary. You can kind of just dump it for anything to help Charizard. Because your
Berserker.
rock resist are like I love the resist on this team though. Like Dragapult Clefable is a common core, it's really good, but you're like you have good rock resist, you have good ground resist. I like all of it. So I think like you have the basis. I think you just need to tweak some stuff to where Charizard you don't want to you're gonna what's gonna happen is like Tristan saying you're gonna just be like, wow, sand is good and then just not bring your Mega Charizard. And then it's never gonna come and then you wasted 15 points on a Charizard. So
Now, this is also just me, but I hate using weather teams.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
The only weather I like using is small rain cores on a regular team.
Yeah, the only time I've ever brought weather in a team and actually like enjoyed it is when I had a low tier combo of like a low tier hail setter and Arctizolt. That was the only
Yeah.
low
time.
tier hail is busted. You're talking to the guy right here.
Anyway, we want to move on to the next person who is in call and has their team. It'd be Jason Gallade.
Right.
I like his team. So we got Aegislash, Tapu Fini, Hydreigon, Infernape, Greninja, Donphan, Meloetta, Ninetales Alola,
Yo.
Tangela, Skuntank, and Magnemite. Not a fan of the Magnemite, gotta say it.
I just replace that with Pikachu.
All right,
Yeah, that's
where?
right.
No. Where's the guy? What tier is he in? Where we have to find him.
Anyway, well, he's looking for someone in some tier. I hate Meloetta and
He's in
Ninetales.
6 points.
Who?
Yeah, I don't like Ninetales.
No, keep the Ninetales. Drop. Okay, I love Tangela, but we have to do it for the greater good. We drop Tangela and Skuntank, right? And you get Arctizolt, and you're
All right, you gotta stop talking, Mr. Hale
Wait.
over here.
Okay, that wouldn't be
fine.
terrible though if... Wait, how much is Arctizolt?
6 points.
Oh, so he would have to drop. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Fuck the Meloetta. That thing is ass. Go get a go
Yeah,
get
that
a
too. Like,
low tier
yeah,
normal.
get rid of Meloetta instead.
But yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's actually a chance
that's
for
fine, I
some
don't
Hale
care.
stuff here.
Also, this is just my opinion, and I may have just listened to Under the Radar a bit too much on this, but I legitimately think Aegislash is really, really good.
Who the fuck is under the
I-
radar?
Draft guy. YouTube draft guys. Played.
Is that
draft
the
and
fucker
stuff.
that stole my idea for the draft league breakdown and then he got popular? I hate that fucker. Hold on, I gotta go look this. I'm pretty sure he's the one that like stole my thumbnail for one of his videos and then like started making draft league breakdowns and then he was the one that got popular. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Yeah, it is him. This is the fucker. I hate that guy. No, Aegislash is dog. I did it first. I did a Tapu Koko draft league breakdown in 2017, I think, and then he like stole my thumbnail and did the same video and then like got a bunch of views. I'm like, are you shitting me? So no, fuck him. Anyway, Greninja is pretty useless on this team as well. You already have Hydreigon and you have Tapu Fini, so unless you really need the speed tier, which is definitely good for you, I would rather you just find something else that's fast. And then yeah, I mean, you have potential to make a few transactions for like cool hail. Your top 4 is fucking great. yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's a solid team up and down.
I don't think Meloetta is terrible on this team, but could get a lower tier.
Meloetta is generally terrible.
Yep.
Well, it also gives you like the option for the speed tier of the pirouette form, and it gives you a little bit of stuff. But yeah, it's not like the best thing. I like Meloetta. I know Tristan likes Meloetta too, but
Okay,
I think it's
hear
fine.
me out. You drop Meloetta for Duosion and use the extra points to upgrade other parts of the team.
My Duosion.
That's my guy.
Oh, no,
I was
just-
Batamon.
That's the mega.
I don't know,
mega
that's-
counter.
That's the only thing I could think
Please
of
do not
for a low
draft
tier
Duosion.
psychic for some reason was frickin'
The
Duosion.
two times I've seen Duosion drafted, the person that told him to draft it hyped it up, and they never brought it a single week to any game for anything. It's a terrible. It's like 35 HP or something like that.
No. I think it's like
Duosion?
30
I can't
defenses.
remember. Maybe it's defenses. Yeah, I honestly can't.
You're talking about Duosion?
Well, it's extremely terrible Pokemon. Please don't draft
Duosion?
or anything.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about Duosion.
It has 65 HP and then 50 defense, 60 defense. But no, to be fair, you're also usually running Eviolite, and then it has acid
Yeah, I know
armor
you're
and
usually
combat.
maybe like, but man.
Also, just a friendly reminder, that thing has base 125 special
Yes,
attack.
I am
What the
fully
fuck?
aware. See base 125 special attack. You're like broken one pointer.
It's actually 2 points.
Oh,
Actually,
great.
too.
Even worse idea.
Colossus is
you
1.
can die and never use that stat ever.
Yeah, get Solosis for 1. Pog. But yeah, I think we can move on. You just have a few options for transactions, and if you need help, just reach out. So, next up we have, I don't know how to say this. He's a mod, and I still don't know how to fully say his name. Shop, I think? Shape? Shop?
Or sheep.
Sheep? Is that really it? Sheep?
Sheep.
Sheep. Okay, I'll go with sheep. We'll talk about his team.
Sheep and
So,
touch.
Mega Diancie, Corviknight, Toxapex.
I've seen this guy draft a lot. This is a very sheep draft.
He just copied Fate's team from last year with the Zygarde, Diancie, Rillaboom core. And then he also added Corviknight, Toxapex, so he's not just hyper offense. And then Cinderace, Hitmontop, Cryogonal, Orbeetle, Exploud, and Bayonet.
Alright. Top 6 is amazing. I will say that. Top 6 is amazing. Don't like any of the bottom 5.
Cryogonal's fucking heat. Eat my ass. I like Cryogonal.
I don't mind myself some Cryogonal.
You can do a lot worse for 6 points. It gets spin, recover.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
mean,
special
actually, now that I
bulky.
think about it, Cryogonal isn't the worst here. But Hitmontop, Orbeetle, Exploud, and Banette can still
I think
go away.
Orbeetle is fucking terrible. That mon is so bad, and like you don't need webs.
Hitmontop is so trash, bro.
I don't think Xcloud is that bad.
You could do
personally.
worse for low tier normal. It's
The-
kind of
the
like the
four
special
monsters-
Tauros.
Out of the 4 Mons in question, Exploud is by far the best one of those 4.
Disagree. Cryogonal.
Cryogonal's definitely the best, but
No, I mean out of Hitmontop, Orbeetle, Exploud, Banette.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
I'm okay with Hitmontop. I mean, I used it last season. It's okay. It'll come to like 3 matches and kind of do stuff, but that's pretty much it. It's really just niche. But I mean, look, if you draft pretty high tiers and then have to kind of fill it out with just good, low tier value, then you could do worse than Hitmontop, especially when.
If you combine Hitmontop, Orbeetle, and then get like a little bit of Hiremon, I think that'd be better. But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah. Cinderace is my guy, but man, you're asking a lot to hit moves. It's pretty
And
awful.
Be fast as well.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a
now
lot
that
of
I
your
think
speed.
about it, does like any of its moves have 100% accuracy outside of like U-turn?
Sucker.
I think.
Or Sucker
14.
Punch?
I think. You
Yeah.
should,
Wait. Yeah. I jump kick, pyro ball, gunk shot. All don't have
Hands and
100%
headbutt.
accuracy. Yeah, that's kind of bad, or that's kind of sad, more so.
What were you saying, Tristan?
I think you should drop if you're picking up a Mon from Orbeetle Hitmontop. You should get another Scarfer or a Scarfer because we'll have none.
Rillaboom's
That's-
not bad, but yeah.
Rillaboom does not want to run Choice Scarf.
Yeah, because you have Glide. I mean, you really don't want to have to run because then you're putting a lot of the scarf pressure on Cinderace and his
Or
speed tier.
fucking Zygarde.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
Scarf.
Scarf Zygarde. Okay, but actually though, I love Zygarde 50.
Zygarde 50 is great. Now with the Choice Scarf.
Yeah, just run legitimately just run Coil.
You know what this team needs is like Mienshao. It's like where you have like the mid speed tier, a good Scarfer that doesn't have to be Cinderace, and then Regenerator work with your defensive core a little bit. So
True.
I think Mienshao would have been perfect. Does someone have that on this? Oh, it's
Yes, we already went over the.
yeah,
think
it's
someone
jacking
does.
off.
Right.
It's unfortunate.
Random Mian Shell.
Beast. Anyway, yeah, I think again, this team's a lot more complete than the other ones we talked about, but a few transactions would probably put it top 3. So yeah, we can move on. Next up would be finally we get to the I believe Rain team. Yeah, Rain team Bismuth. Tristan, as our resident Rain enthusiast, I'll read off the team and then give the floor to you. Zapdos, Kyurem, Ferrothorn, Buzzwole, Mega Swampert, Barraskewda, Pelipper, Muckalola, Beartick, Charjabug, and normal Porygon.
This team is cool.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Honestly, I like it.
I would say that
I
literally.
think Barraskewda is not great by itself, but on Rain, I think it's really good. I kind of wish it was a special mon over Barraskewda, but it's fine. Because you have Swampert, which is like that's your physical Rain Sweeper every single week. But Barraskewda has a good speed tier, and it can work outside of Rain, so that's fine.
What if actually this is just a what if, but what if Barraskewda was replaced with like Kingdra?
He hates that mon.
No,
He's gonna say no.
Anyway,
He also has
Zapdos and Kyurem, two of my favorite draft Pokemon, especially Zapdos. I love that guy. He's
I
great.
hate Zapdos. Screw that thing.
Yeah, but see, you hate it because he's good, so you're a hater. Kyurem is amazing on teams with high offensive pressure like this one because you can't prep for everything. So it's going to have a really easy time spamming its stab moves, especially since Swampert, really strong ground type. Buzzwole's going to tear through steals too. I like Ferrothorn because it is a great grass switch-in for Swampert. I think this team is just even you have Muck down below to get that extra special defense to go with Buzzwole. I think that's a really good pairing.
Yep,
All I'm gonna say is this team's gonna have a fun time against a mon with freeze dry.
Yeah, Rain teams are always weak to freeze dry.
I know. I just always find it comical how like so many like
that's the one.
Rain mons.
But
the problem is he has the literal best freeze dryer in the game. The next one is what?
Yeah, exactly.
Glaceon?
Cryogonal. Yo, a poor man's Kyurem?
Dude, I've heard enough people say that now to fucking end my life. Holy shit. So many people keep telling me, oh, poor man's Kyurem. No, it's not a poor man's Kyurem. It is nothing. It is not anything. All right.
Yeah, honestly, Bismuth, you did a very good job with this team. Charjabug, your bottom 3 might be the most based bottom 3 I've ever seen.
Had to get the the Dragapult counter. 1 point Porygon.
Yeah, honestly,
Porygon, I don't have
pretty base.
Does Charjabug even get sticky webs?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
And it like it's freaking bulky, man. Like holy crap.
Yeah, only reason I didn't put it higher is because it's full rain, and those teams are matchup dependent. And if you get the right matchups in playoffs, you're gonna have a really good shot to just go all the way. But if you don't, it's gonna suck, and you might just lose in round 1 because you just have bad matchup, and it happens sometimes. So
yeah,
that is.
Also,
don't worry, just run into someone with water resistant.
The final thing I'm gonna say about this, just please do your best to lead the league in kills with Beartick. Please.
No.
Can you
do
do
not.
that for me?
Do not.
Please don't do that.
Do it with Kyurem, the better ice type that is on your team. Please don't use Beartick.
Absolutely use Beartick.
So next up we would have Frosty, I believe it's GMSM. Yep. I'm a big fan of this team. Mega Gallade, Torrentee, Weavile, Normal Scizor, Rotom Wash, Nidoqueen, Miltank, Aromatisse, Regirock, Grotle, and Carkol. That top 6 is fucking amazing.
Oh my god, yeah. Holy crap.
I mean, it is fucking incredible how good this top 6 is. Mega Gallade, Torrentee, Weavile is really, really solid. I think Scizor, I'm kind of starting to pick up on a little bit more. It's, like, pretty cool as a pivot and gets a lot of the cool stuff that your team needs. Rotom Wash, I love every Rotom form, except for normal Rotom. Nidoqueen, that's Tristan's girl, one of the better draft league
Love
Pokemon
Nidoqueen,
considering
yep.
points. And then you just like surround it with like cool low tiers. Like Miltank is really solid. Aromatisse for
Miltank's
Wish
good.
Pass.
I don't like Aromatisse, but it works here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fine as a low tier fairy. And then like
The
Regirock is cool.
Only two mons that I actually don't like here are Regirock and Groddle. More so Regirock. That's just
That's
because
unfortunate. Grottle's amazing. I'm sorry you feel that way.
I mean Grottle's cool. Actually, I don't have that much against Groddle. It's a cool enough mon. Also Carkol is absolutely based.
Yeah, I'd rather you just get rid of Regirock. That was like the only thing I'm like, I just don't, you have Carkol, you have good hazard setting. I'm not really sure you need Regirock, but if you felt like you need the Fizz-Def, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that was really the only complaint. I'm like, this thing kind of feels out of place.
I mean, if you want Fizz-Def, there's still Avalugg available in 5,
My
I guess.
man! Yes!
Oh, he luggin'!
Avalugin. My man. Honestly, yeah, it's just really, really good fucking team. I don't have any major criticism. James, anything you want to say? Because this looks like a team you'd use.
Hey,
That's a good thing.
just
We just
because
hyped it
about
up.
it?
That's a
Weavile,
compliment.
Mega
This is,
Gallade,
what, the
Nidoqueen.
second best team in Curse?
No, I like this team a lot. I think it's really cool. I was gonna give a suggestion, but it's taken already. That would have been really cool on this team if you would have dropped Regirock and Aromatisse, and it would have literally just worked. Did I do the math right? Yeah, it literally would have just worked. But you could have had Sylveon in a 1-pointer. Would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But it's taken. But yeah, my only thing is like Aromatisse seems kind of irrelevant. It's not bad. Like if you need just a bulky fairy, it's fine. I just always like when I look at Aromatisse, I'm like, what am I wish passing into? And the only thing that I want to wish pass to into this team is Nidoqueen because your recovery is so good.
No,
Watch
I
is
think
there as well,
Rotom. You
so.
take a lot of pressure off
Rotom.
Rotom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good too. So yeah,
Like,
I like this team a lot.
I'm in a BDSP league right now where I wasn't able to get Wish Pass, and it's pressured a lot.
The only thing I will say with this team is that if you do end up having to bring some of your lower tiers, your pivoting is you have 3 amazing pivoters into Mega Gallade Weavile. So I do like that. But you're gonna like if you do bring some low tiers, it might be. I like to have like one low tier pivoter just so in case I need to bring it, I can still pivot into some of my bigger threats. But
Lantern.
that's just nitpicking at this point. So I like the team a lot. I think it's good.
Yeah. Then we can move on to number 1. He's been in the call the whole time. Big Meat Ben, I think, drafted the single best team in this division, and he still has a point left over. Urshifu Single Strike, Landorus Therian, Tapu Lele, Heatran, Milotic, Mega Beedrill, Serena, Electros, Druddigon, Bantler, my man, and Misdreavus, also my man.
Wow, this team is incredible.
It's fucking amazing.
Legitimately the only things that stick out to me is that Urshifu Single won't be able to click Sucker Punch anymore because of Psychic Terrain.
All right, I'm doing the monologue right now. I'm getting the hands ready. You just triggered me. All right, I'm rubbing the hands. We're cracking the knuckles. We're getting them ready. All right.
Jesus doesn't.
If you are not terrible at Pokemon, you will not struggle with having Urshifu Lele and not being able to click Sucker Punch for 4 turns. Do not play like ass cheeks and you'll be okay. Terrain is not always up, and you're not always going into the same Pokemon. Sucker's not even like the top, you're going to have like weeks where you're Scarf and you're not going to have Sucker. You don't need to worry about this. They are a great fucking pairing. Lele or Shifu do so much for each other. You don't need to worry about Sucker Punch. It's okay. There, end of rant. I'm done. Had to get that off my chest. I am so sick of people saying that in the chat. Fade, you are fucking garbage at Pokemon, and I hope you're listening, because goddamn, if I have to hear you say that one more time, Shifu Lele, you're a dumbass. Also, you dropped
I was
out.
saying that as like a compliment because that's like the biggest issue I could find, but all right.
No, that's great. If that's the team's biggest issue, which I'd agree is probably it, then it's a great team. And
I think, personally, I would say the biggest issue is speed. You have good Scarfers, but Beedrill is the only Pokemon here over base 100, and that irks me a little bit. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But B is really,
Dragapult
really good,
slippage.
in my opinion. I love B. I just won a championship with it, my guy.
Yeah, B
Your
is
Dragapult
cool.
swapping goes from Urshifu to Stantler.
Hey.
Oh, true. That could be. Actually, wait, no. It depends on if it's specs. Then
There are
AB will
Pokemon
actually
here that
be
can
cool.
handle
Well, yeah,
Dragon.
like Heatran is used a lot on the ladder for like Dragapult. You can make like Heatran sets where
No,
it
I
works.
think it's fine. I'm just talking about Ghost in general.
Yeah.
Just like for resistances.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's
I mean,
fine.
Stantler is a pretty based mon.
You
though.
have the two most like compatible mons. Like I don't know what the word is for it, but like Heatran and Milotic are one of those soft checks to basically everything in the game. It's kind of like Suicune, that kind of thing, where they just can basically tank moves no matter what kind of typing it is, unless it's super effective. And then Serena can do well as well with like AV or Fizdev, stuff like that. The same exact thing with Electros. They both do a lot of the same stuff. I would maybe get rid of like I like Druddigon. It's not terrible. It gives you a dragon type with rocks. So your rockers are what Lando, Heatran, Druddigon.
And
So that's
I
really, really
guess you
good.
could also use Druddigon as a Glairmon to slow down stuff that could allow Shifu or Lele to outspeed some stuff.
Yeah, I think Druddigon's a great fit on this team, honestly. Like, it just as a low tier.
I will say also, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I would not mind having another hazard removal on this team because it looks like you're going to be
That's also another
Hydra
thing.
to be defensive a lot and
Yeah.
run defog because Serena's not coming every week. It's just not that kind of mon.
I agree. Yeah, hazard removal's a little suspect. Hazard setting is, I think, pretty good, and overall, really, really solid team. And you still have a point to work with if something, if you really feel the need to make changes later, you have an extra point. So,
I'm gonna say something just for the pure purpose of triggering mystery. You should drop Druddigon and like Misdreavus because he has the extra point, and you should go get like Noivern.
No,
Easy.
no,
No.
Noivern is ass. Noivern is so dog, dude.
You're gonna drop Druddigon. At least also free up the points to go like Gudra or something, because Gudra's cool.
I mean, I know he's saying it for the speed, so you have something between Beedrill
And default.
and Urshifu. Yeah, but it's so bad. Noivern is so bad.
Noivern is awful. Don't ever use it.
It's bad, but it makes sense. It makes sense.
Your lesson of the day, people who are viewing, don't ever draft Noivern.
For any reason ever. No Noivern. Anyway, I think we're good to move on to Hex Division. So,
Whew. We are a third of the way through this.
yeah, great. This to me is like the least relevant division. I'm sorry to anyone that is in Hex. There's just a lot
Middle
going
child
on here.
syndrome, baby.
There's so much happening here. Like, I have someone in this call or in the audience
Where's
right
the
now.
doc for this?
I don't know. Go find it.
I'm trying.
So first up, we have my boy Keonu. I really liked how it started out, and then you just decided to like draft the weirdest Pokemon ever and leave 3 points on the board. Mega Diancie, Excadrill, Tyranitar, Dracozolt, Seismitoad, Rotom-Mow, Marowak, Alola, Virizion, Sigiliv, Regirock, and Claydol.
What am I looking
going
at?
on here?
I wanted to put this team higher, but I just can't. I picked Keonu to win it before the draft just because I think he's really solid, and I hate this team. It is awful. Mega Diancie, Drill, Tyranitar, and I guess Dracozolt, like that should be your Sandcore. Seismitoad's fine as a ground. Rotom even is fine, but like everything after that is just, what the fuck is this? I don't get any of these picks after.
Like, I am a Marowak Alola enthusiast, but I will say, I do not quite appreciate it here that much.
No, and your top three are all weak to water.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
you
to be
drafted
fair,
Seismitoad with
fire.
that?
After Seismitoad.
I know he got
Draco,
Seismitoad Rotom, which is fine. He's
Still,
got
you have
Mystery. I'm gonna join on
1, 2,
PC.
3,
Okay.
4, 5. You have 6 water weaknesses.
it's a lot.
It is quite a
Also, like similar amount of ground weaknesses, and Rotom is the only one covering. Besides Virizion and Sigilid.
bit.
Sorry, Claydol as well. It's like a collective one check.
And that's a collective 0.75. Fuck that.
Oh no, Virizion's a grass type.
Oh, and you
guess.
still have 3 points remaining if you want to make changes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
Exactly,
like,
you got points left over, and this is going on.
but please reach out to someone. I think you have definitely potential to make this team very usable, but it is almost borderline unusable.
The bottom 5 need to
Go.
be shuffled a lot.
All of them need to go. Every single one.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Drumler Nation. Yeah, I have really not a whole lot else to say. Please change the bottom 5.
So, Flippy, I see your message that we're harsh when the team is bad and nice when the team is good.
Yeah, that's
We're
kind of
harsh
how it
when the
goes.
team is bad because the team is bad, and we're nice when the team is good because the team is good.
We literally went through all the criticisms we could with the best team in curves. So, I don't think we're...
You've never seen a Mystery James Tristan video. True.
Hey, you got some catching up to do. Anyway, I think we can move on to the next one. I really struggle with this team, and I think it's better than its placement. Person, he is in the call. I think this team is really solid, so please don't take you getting 11th to heart. There's something wrong with this team, and I needed to talk with it to everyone else to figure out what I hate about it.
It's the fact that Galvantula is on the team.
True.
I think I agree.
Latios, Scizor, Blacephalon, Suicune, Rillaboom, Galvantula, Hitmontop, Mega Audino, Corsola, Galar, Mudsdale, and Garbodor with 4 points remaining.
Right, so initially my first impression is take Corsola or Hitmontop and immediately swap them out for like a 10-point Mon.
Crow said, is there a Dark Resist there? Yes, Hitmontop and Audino Mega.
I think what I'm noticing is that there is way too much pressure on Suicune and Scizor to do literally everything defensively. And, because the only thing Mega Audino is doing defensively is against types that it's good against, which is basically just Dragon.
Dark.
I mean, there was also Mudsdale, to be fair.
No, Mudsdale's fine. I think Mudsdale can stay. I just...
I would take out Corsola Galar because, speaking from experience, that Mon is so bad.
I think it's really similar to Koinu's team, where you just...
Would take out...
You've got a lot of super mid-Mons in this bottom section that just don't need to be here.
I would take out Corsola and look in the range of 9 or 10 points for another defensive Mon or something.
I would take Hitmontop, Galvantula, Corsola, and Garbodor, and think of something else.
Or alternatively, okay, so initially, just first things first, get rid of Galvantula and immediately swap it for Vikavolt.
I mean, I like Vikavolt probably a little bit more.
Is it even available?
Trying to look real quick. I think
Look like it is, yeah.
I think it's available. Yeah.
Oh, this division has one of my favorite team.
Oh no. Anyway, if you want to sit down sometime and try to work something out, I really think your team's close. I just struggled because I don't know what's wrong with it.
It has the pieces. I think it's really, really solid. But obviously the bottom half, not even really the bottom half, just Galvantula to Corsola, I think is a bit off. And again, you still have 4 points, so there is definitely changes you can make to make this a very, very...
Give it a little bit of... So you have 4 points left. A lot of these low tiers that you don't really need. Why don't you upgrade... you can upgrade so much in this team. Hitmontop can become a lot better of a fighting type for you. It could be something like Buzzwole. I don't know if Buzzwole is taken.
Buzzwole's 13 points, though, is the issue.
It's 14, and it's taken. But, he has 4 points. And Hitmontop, a Galvantula, I don't think Mega Audino does anything for you.
There are legitimately some good fighting types available in that range of, 10 and 9.
I think a fighting type would help this team a lot.
I don't think you would want to take these in this scenario, considering what else is on the team, but that's kind of the range of, I think, Lucario and Breloom, I think.
Ugh.
That was...
Crow says, don't sleep on Hitmontop. Dog, I'm heading to the bed right now. We sleep.
I am already.
Bro, Hitmontop is so bad. I don't know. I know a few people that are oh yeah, Hitmontop's cool. Ban Hitmontop. Woo. Yeah, no.
Ban
Hitmontop is awful.
it's just got no stats that quite work.
Intimidate with like no defense and then
I
spit
think
F
the
for no
only good
reason.
him on top set is like AV. That's about it.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
like literally the only one you can run. If it got, it would be instantly better if it got like U-turn. But the fact that it just has to sit there and look at the opponent, like usually Hitmontop lets something huge in when it wants to get off a rapid spin.
He said he was worried about his removal because otherwise it's just Latios and Scissor, which I think is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But you just have a bunch of points where you can get something else
Yeah,
that's
but
better.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
you could
throw
just
it
like
around.
swap out another lower tier mon for another spinner.
Get something else going.
But yeah,
You don't even need a spinner. Just get hazard removal in different places. I just think, like, even if you want to keep Galvantula, I know everybody here hates Galvantula, but it's not like terrible. All right, it gives you a good,
Very
like,
much
a decent
is.
Spirited.
it's the same as Blacephalon. That's my
Yeah.
issue.
Okay, then you don't really need it. Then I would just say everything after Rillaboom can go, and you can, or except Mudsdale. I think Mudsdale's fine.
Yeah,
if that's what
Mudsdale's
you
the
like.
goat.
I also
He's
like
just a
Garbodor
ground.
too.
Like if you don't have a ground, you throw a ground on. He's fine. Like he fits on, like every other team. But like I feel like
Garbodor
Mega
too, to be
Autono is
fair.
definitely redundant here with Suicune. Him on top, like we just talked a bunch about it. Corsola, I don't think Corsola is like the worst. One of the lower tiers that you can get. I think it's cool just the fact that it's very niche in its matchups, but can definitely wall some higher tiers. So it can come to some stuff. But if you need more points, which I don't know if you're gonna need it, but I would get rid of Garbodor too and just pick some other stuff up. Your hazard game is what? Mudsdale and Garbodor?
Yeah,
Of course.
Mudsdale
And
and
Gal,
Garbodor.
technically.
And Corsola. But yeah.
Also, I do actually like Garbodor here a lot. My thought process is you're going to be forcing a lot of switches with Latios, Blacephalon, Rillaboom. Being able to get up a lot of layers of spikes will be pretty important.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Keep Mudsdale, keep Garbodor, wow, I can speak. Then the top 5 and really just work from there. And yeah, if you need help, please feel free to DM, reach out to somebody, and like I'd be willing to help you anytime. So after that, we can move on to number 10. We have Royal Ashmit. I don't know how to fucking say this. Yeah, let's talk about his team. Mega Lopunny, Melmetal, Spectre, Thundurus, Togekiss, Volcanion, Roserade, Flygon. Now this is where it's beyond awful. He has 2 lead Pokemon,
what?
Smeargle and
What?
Shuckle in the B-Barrel.
Why would you ever draft Smeargle and Shuckle?
Not only did he get 1, he got 2
Okay.
lead
Okay.
Pokemon.
Now, the barrel is a funny 1-point mon.
Oh, absolutely.
Barrel's
That's
great.
actually-
Bibs is the best
That's actually
one.
not my issue with this bottom 3. My issue is that he took not only a lead mon, but you took 2 of them.
You drafted basically with 9 less points. That's how I want to put this. This is beyond shit. And then also Flygon, Dog Watermon. I hate that Pokemon, and it's your ground type. I don't like this team very much. However, I do like
Actually-
Metal Spectre. I think those 3 work together really well.
Those work together well, although I will say that Gen 8 Megalop is not great.
It's not amazing. I think it's still really good, and I think it's slept on. But it's definitely
Which is
not like
weird,
the top tier
because you would
Megas.
think that if it got Play Rough, if it got Close Combat, if it got Triple Axle, if it got U-Turn, and if it got Immunity to Intimidate, it would be so much better. But it just it lost a stab, and it just is not nearly as good.
But I still think it works really well with the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's still definitely not awful. It's just a far cry from what it was in Gen 7.
And then Thundy, I'm a big fan of Thundy in draft, especially Gen 8. Big fan. Togekiss, I'm not a big fan of at all. I kind of
Not
wish
on
you
this
just
team, especially.
yeah, you just don't need it. Volcanion's cool. Roserade is
Canyon's a
kind of
cool
fine. Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm really
And
not
then again,
sure.
though, my main experience of Megalop was I took it in like my first ever league in like Gen 7 when me and everyone else in it was like dog water, and it led the league in kills by exclusively running Power Up Punch Last Resort.
That's my man.
So yeah, that's about my experience with Megalop.
I have 2 rings with it, and 1 in Gen 7, 1 in Gen 8. Big fan of that Pokemon. I think it's really, really good. And if you're not bad at Pokemon, you're going to do really well cleaning up teams. So,
I think this team's super weak to electric, which forces Rosary and Flagon to come way more than you want. And you have
True.
such a good top 5, well, top 4, that it's going to be frustrating because you're going to want to bring Volcanion some weeks, you're going to want to bring Togue some weeks, which I think Togue is redundant with Thundurus on this team. You get a different fairy. There's literally no point. You have so many points extra you can fit around with it. You're going to want to bring Spectrier even, because Spectrier is not one of those mons that you're going to want to bring it every week, but it's not. It's not going to end up. It's going to come up like 6-7 games. It's good.
I just realized he doesn't have a
but
dark type.
That too.
Oh yeah.
No.
Jesus
Your
Christ.
dark swap in is no lopping.
Honestly, person, we're moving you up to 10. This team's worse. Yeah, again, if Royal Ash Schmidt 30, if you'd like help, I wouldn't mind helping you out because there's quite a few things I think you need to do on this team. Yeah, person, shout out to him. He's moving up to 10. Pog.
The Tapu Koko answer is just nothing.
Speaking of top, no, I'm joking. He's way higher up. Number 9, we got, God, I hate these names. Tranel? Mega Mawile, Infernape, Slowbro, Greninja, Lando, without Sheer Force.
This is the team.
Yeah, this is the worst team. Blissey, Toxtricity, Superior, Noivern, Ariados, and Misdreavus.
Okay, so my thoughts: Mawile, Infernape, Slowbro, Blissey, and Superior are cool. Those are cool mons. I like them. Everything else.
Why did you say Blissey and not Greninja? Did I just hear you wrong?
Yeah, fuck you, grandstand.
I don't like the other mons. I don't like Gran. I hate Toxtricity, man.
That mon is so
Screw that.
bad.
Screw that mon. I don't like Landorus. I don't like it when it's sheer force. I
Woo!
like it
We
even-
found another. Wait, where did Tristan go?
Don't like it when it's sheer force. I like it even less when it's forced to run sand force. Noivern, we just went over how you should never draft Noivern if only we got the memo out earlier. And then Ariados is mid. It's gonna come to like one game, set up one layer of T-spikes or webs, and then immediately die. Then Misdreavus is Misdreavus.
Pickle, if I have to hear you talk about more one-pointers in this freaking podcast, swear to
Dude,
God.
he's the Pikachu master.
I know, I'm telling you, one of these days, I'm just gonna show up to a draft and just only take like 4 points and below.
Please do. Make a Bennett. God Squad. Anyway,
Imagine wasting points on a 20-point sheer force mon, and then wasting even more points on a useless 12-point mon. Cannot be me.
well, it's not 20 points and it's not sheer force because it's Landorus Eye.
Well,
without
that's
sheer
what I'm
force.
saying. Like, regularly.
No, it's
You waste your points
Lando
on
Eye is beyond terrible, and then also add on that now it doesn't have sheer force. This mon is trash.
Yeah.
Why is it your main defogger?
Bliss is 11 points. It says on the dock, unless we have it somewhere wrong. Yeah, I like the top 4.
Oh, you mean-
Blissey, Superior, they can all stay. I think Toxtricity gotta go. I think Lando Eye needs to go. And Noivern, I guess you
If
can
you
keep
wa-
him, but fuck.
If you want a electric type that badly, if you are to get rid of Toxtricity and you still want an electric type, may I recommend dropping a 1-pointer for Pikachu.
Oh my god. Fucking
Gonna be every
Pikachu,
single
dude.
time, isn't it?
We need a counter for the number of times I advertise Pikachu in a podcast.
Bruh, this guy can literally drop Landorus and Toxtricity and get a Zapdos that is still on the
Oh,
board.
please, God, get Zapdos.
What?
Please.
What?
Please. Oh my Christ. Please get Zapdos.
I hate
I'm
Zapdos.
literally-
I'm
I'm
gonna
not even
DM
judging
Tranel
doing
right
nothing.
now. Holy
Literally
fuck.
dropping Lando and Toxtricity. Don't change anything else. Grab Zapdos and whatever other points you need for it. It literally changes this team from bottom to like mid-top.
I've never spoken to Tranel a day in my life, but I just DM them, please get Zapdos. That's it. Alright, we're closing the DM. Yeah, look,
Yeah.
not great team, but if you get Zapdos, I'll come back to it and I'll give you my opinion because you're not far away. At least
Oh,
there's definitely
it's-
stuff
You
you can do.
still want a ground type too. Hippowdon is still on the board.
Please, oh, there's so many options. Please, please,
What
please,
is
Crocodile
please.
at 12 points, it's still on
What
the
is
board.
going on in this division?
Hex is dog, dude. Anyway, let's
Crocodile
move
fits
on.
perfectly.
Let's
Oh my
move
God,
on
I hate-
to the person who's
I
supposed to
don't-
be hosting the pod today with us, Kurapika. Let's talk about his team. Weavile, Ferrothorn, Toxapex, Mega Garchomp, Dracovish, Weezing Galar, Chandelure, Espeon, Passimian, Audino, and Emolga with 1 point left.
Right, so first things first, you took a Malga. That's cool points in my book.
Yo, I found another fellow Amolga lover. Also, you did talk about a 1-pointer again, so I'm gonna have to dox you.
Oh my god. Hey, I'm not gonna recommend Pikachu this time because he already has a Malga at least. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty decent team you have here actually. Now that I'm looking
His
at it.
hazard removal goes from Weezing to Amolga.
Yep, I was waiting for someone to say it. Not good.
That's the main part I am seeing now.
Chandelure, I'm not a big fan of. In
Weavile
Gen 8.
likes hazard removal, and there is not much of that here.
This is going to be Boots Weavile at least 5 times. I'm setting the over-under at 5.5. Do we think it
It's
hits?
gonna be way more than that. How many games are in this season?
Oh, if that's it, then it's over. It's over.
What's the how many games have you played in this season?
9.
9? It's come to at least 6. At least.
I'd say that the over-under on how many times he runs Boots Weavile, if it comes to all 9 games, I'm gonna say it comes to at least 7.
At least with this team. So I DM'd Trannel, by the way. I said, please get Zapdos. They responded with, who are you? I said, God, nice to meet you. They said, hi, nice to meet you. I need some money, like now. I said, no. And they said, damn, that's a merciless God. So we're playing God out
It's
here
because
today.
we don't have Zapdos and have Landers.
Yeah, if he had Zapdos, if he had Zapdos at a Landorus, I might have to DM him some money because, man, as many people we get on the anti-Lando I train, the better. But yeah, I think this team is kind of weird. Like Espeon, Chandelure, kind of useless. Dracovish is a little weird on this type of team.
Yeah, Drake. I
Your
was
ground swapping is Levitate Weezing.
That's true. The ground is, I didn't even notice
that's
that.
also true.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Emolga?
Your Earthquake swapping is Wheezing.
And Emolga, yeah.
Emolga.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh
You know
my
what?
god.
Person, you might have to move up again. You know what?
Yeah,
Person.
Dude, we're swapping you to
Person,
8.
you're on the up and up,
He
buddy.
is he's on the come up.
There's
Wow.
also
Yeah, you're.
your only flying swap in is also Emolga, but you know.
Oh my
we
god,
can
you're
keep going.
right.
Yeah, so I think
Yes.
this team, I mean, there's definitely pieces here to work with, but
Yeah.
outside the top 4, I'm
Mega
not
Chomp's
really
good.
like,
Fun fact.
yeah.
Outside the top 4, it's I mean the top 4. I mean, I think a big drawback for me personally is that the top 4 are there's not really like any like high tiers. Like the most expensive mon is 15 points.
Also, I was thinking about this too, and for me, if I'm gonna use Dracovish, I want to pair it with a really powerful electric type, and your electric type's Emolga. Like having a good grass with it's also good. So you have Ferrothorn, which is not terrible, but like Scald swap-ins is Toxapex, which is really good.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's kind
the
of
best
outside of
game.
it.
I also have no idea how much it took me to just hold back, say, grab Pikachu if you want to.
Oh my god. Yeah, like he didn't draft a team for Dracovish. He drafted a team for Garchomp, and then also just a bad team at the same time.
Jeez.
Sorry,
He
man.
belongs with it, man.
Yeah, again, I think there's pieces to work with here, but I think we can
Focus
move
on
on.
positive.
Not
I
great.
think you have you definitely have a start to work with. I think if you keep your top 4 and just choose one, like it feels like you went Dracovish and then make it like exactly what Mystery said. Build around one of them. Can't build around both just because they're both too they do very not. Dracovish likes to hit one button where Mega Chomp likes to set up and sweep, and then it can also be bulky and stuff like that. But I feel like you have to build specifically to both of them to get the most out of it. So, especially with Dracovish. So, if you want to use Dracovish, build around that. But if you want to focus more on Mega Chomp being the focal point of your offense with Weavile, then I would build. Like, I would just take your top 4 and then change it around. You could keep Weezing. Even, like, if you want to keep, like, Passimian, I don't think that's a terrible option. But, like, do things around it. I think the bottom half just needs to get reshuffled.
Simeon is far from terrible.
It's a good Scarfer.
All right, let's head on to the next one. We have Tiger VGC. I'm not really sure what to think about this team, although it does have Lando T, so that's cool.
Why would Lando T drafted in around, what, 6?
Why?
It got picked up in free agency. It wasn't drafted at all.
What?
Mew,
Are you telling me
Terrakion,
exactly?
Sylveon, Cinderace, Skarmory, Lando T, Gudra, Muckalola, Eldegoss, Charjabug, and Clawitzer.
Right, this is actually a pretty neat draft. I'm gonna be honest. I like this.
I don't know how to feel. I think the speed is kind of weird.
The first impression, without going into like thinking about speed or removal or synergy or
Armor's
anything,
dog.
the Mons look cool.
Wow. This team is not gas. Hello? This team is not gas. This team is so weird. Mew can do anything, which is, I think, what helps this team a lot is because you need a lot. Tarak is, no switch-ins. Sylveon round 3, dog. Cinderace round 4, kind of dog. Skarm round 5, kind of dog. But then you have Lando,
Arm's just
which...
solid in general.
Lando, Mew, pretty solid. I like Muckalola. I think Eldegoss is good for 3 points. The rest of it...
Gudra too. I like
Gudra's
Gudra
okay.
a lot.
Gudra's okay.
Charjabug is cool.
For a one-pointer. Again, with the one-pointers, I swear.
I'm telling you, that's all Pickle is like, where's the one-pointer? If it's not Pikachu, I'm roasting it.
Or Charjabug.
Hey, actually, no, listen to this. Keep Charjabug. Keep Charjabug. It's good here. I also like Clawitzer.
Yeah.
Clawitzer's a cool mon, man. It gets kills on stuff that it should not kill.
You talking about Clawitzer? Sorry, I cut out.
Yeah,
Clawitzer.
Okay.
I was doing a mock with someone a few weeks ago, and I was running Specs Clawitzer in that mock, and they had a Rillaboom on their team.
Okay,
other
I
person's-
swept somebody with Belly Drum Zard Y in mocks, alright? I don't know if that, like...
That's
No,
what
but
it
like
said.
this is just a blanket calc. This person brought in their Specs Curum, and it took 55% from a Specs Terrain Pulse in grassy terrain.
What's he...
I like Clawitzer, and especially for 3 points, you can do worse. I just don't
Yeah.
like it as your water type.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say...
that's the dicey part. If you're taking Clawitzer as your water, then that's not
You'd
great.
like it to be like a even a Tentacruel or something where you had just like a bulkier, higher water. I'm not saying Tentacruel specifically for this team, but like just in general, even a Jealous.
None of these mods work well together, is the thing. Like, they
Exactly.
only- it feels like you were just like, what types do I need? And threw in a bunch of different mods. I just don't understand.
Also, what do you have a
There's
Skarmory?
literally 0 synergy.
That's true. That was definitely a trap that I
Why is
used. to
Gudra
fall into.
here? You have a Sylveon. Why do you need Gudra? Just for the
Yeah.
Dragon typing?
It's
You have
definitely a
luck
trap that I used to
hindrance
fall
Sylveon.
into a lot. Like I would just take typings and not really think about
I hated
work
doing that.
together.
I think you should take Pokemon that work well together, even if you have a little bit of type overlap. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
better to have Pokemon
exactly.
that work well.
Just be S and grab triple dragon.
I hate who drafted that in 88 goals?
S.
Who? S? I have no idea. Oh,
Formerly
I
Super
played
Bad
them.
Cat.
Yeah, Super Bad Cat. Yeah, okay, that's what I remember them as. Yeah, they beat me with that, and they hacked me in like the first 3 turns. I remember that. Anyway,
You came down, and then you came down to rivalry and absolutely screwed everyone.
yeah, because Panda and everybody else there tried to hoe me out, because I argue with people sometimes, so they tried to keep me out. And then they had a drop, and they're like, you know what? Hey, you want to come back? I'm like, yeah, let me get this free ring real quick. So eat my ass, 88 goals.
Yeah, it's like they didn't bring back so many older people, and then so many drops just happened where they just came back anyway.
Yeah. That's what we're about to turn this into an 88 hate podcast, but I like a lot
Not
of people
88
there.
hate.
In every mystery
88 is
podcast,
cool,
hate
though.
podcast.
I
just
like
didn't
88.
get that.
I just don't. Some of their decisions I disagree with wholeheartedly, and they're trying to become like a brand instead of, I don't know, keeping faithful to what they had at the start. But that's just
I'm gonna
my
be
opinion.
honest with you. I'd put this team lower than some of the other ones that you've already said.
Well, I like it because it has Lando T, Mew, which is 2 of the best draft Pokemon in my opinion. So you
I
can
mean,
build around
sure,
that.
they work all right together, but
But yeah, hey, you know what, Person? We moving you. Joking.
Person's going all the way
Dude,
up.
he's moving. He was the
I'm gonna
hardest
be
one I had to
completely
play,
honest.
so
I
I
would
couldn't
take
figure it
his
out.
team out of all of the teams we've just named.
Next up, we have Iron Man. I am Iron Man. I just watched Endgame for like the 4th time recently, and that was fun. Urshifu Single Strike, 88, Aegislash, Salamence, Mamoswine, Nihilego, Primarina, Whimsicott, Miltank, Rotom Frost, Typhlosion, and Kadabra. Those last 2, man.
Yo, big Typhlosion.
What the frick is Kadabra doing,
Dude,
bro?
he's just
Oh my
chilling.
god. Immediately. I think Pickle was like looks at the team, he goes, cool. Alright, what's the bottom Mons looking like?
Your team's only as good as your last Pokemon. Pickle Nugget.
Exactly. A chain is only as good as its weakest link.
True. I hate Whimsicott. We already talked about that. Please drop that for something else.
Ass.
Um,
Okay, legitimately though, I like the top 6 here in terms of the mons that are there. I'm not thinking much about like synergy again because I haven't prepped for this at all, but I like the individual mons that are there.
I think this team would look even so much better without. I think Whimsicott just throws everything off, just
Yep.
because like you have Whimsicott and Primarina, which makes literally no sense. And it looks like you were just like, dang, I need a grass type.
and I
There's so
need
many
and
other
I need
grass types.
speed. He said
Yeah.
he said it to me in DMs is I need grass, I need speed. Whimsicott's it is technically fast. It's not fast. It's
At that point, just get Sceptile, man.
ugh,
like-
ugh.
Like, it's not good, but
It's not.
I mean, actually, I don't mind Sceptile as a 4-pointer.
There's a few different Sceptiles that aren't good. Yeah, keep that on the low. I'm joking. That's a joke. I don't know, man. Please drop Whimsicott. Is this the second Whimsicott Miltank team we've seen? Why is this the
It is, I was
pairing?
gonna say that, yeah. It's the core.
But yeah, please drop Whimsicott. Please drop honestly, fucking Kadabra to a 1-pointer just to get yourself an extra point. I'm not a big fan of Salamence. I'd rather you just use Dragonite because that mon's better in Gen 8.
That's true, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, if Dragonite's opened, I would prefer Dragonite here.
Like a bulkier water would be cool, and then some speed. But I think you have at least the framework to make something happen here. But as constructed right now, this is probably not a playoff team.
Why is Terrakion taken in every single league, but Zapdos and freaking Zygarde and come on? I don't understand. I'm just gonna be quiet.
I don't know, man. I'm not even that big of a Terrakion fan. That's kind of missing me.
It's not bad. It's just
It's weird.
why is it drafted in every week? Like it doesn't usually fit. Like every team that I see Terrakion, I'm like, why is it here?
Well, next up we can go to DJ Barara.
I like this team.
I do too. Except for the bottom 4, I
The
think
bottom,
are all
yeah.
terrible. Mega Scizor, Tapu Fini, Victini, Kyurem, Mandibuzz, Thundi T, Mienshao, and we're gonna stop it right there. Ditto, Sceptile, regular Marowak, and regular Persian.
Right, so my first thought was Kyurem won't be able to reliably drop Dracos because of Mystery Terrain.
You don't ever click Draco, and terrain's not always up. We already had this.
I do hate that. I think you can, especially with. I think the biggest one that people get antsy about is the Misty Terrain with dragons. It doesn't just exactly what Mystery had is ran. Don't be a bad player and you'll be fine. And then also Kyurem presses ice move like 90% of the time.
Yeah, when
You're
are
not
you
gonna
actually
even-
clicking Draco Meteor with Kyurem?
But also, the removal here is very good actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I like
The worst thing about
removal
this
here.
team is your ground type's Marowak. Just mush your points
Yeah.
together and get a better ground type.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get a better ground type, like.
I do like, if you're going to have double flying, I do like Thundurus and Mandibuzz together just because they're not weak to the same things. The only thing I would say is your rock weakness. Like, you have Mega Scizor and then Mienshao. Mega Scizor doesn't. So your rock resist is only Mienshao.
Sammy is
Just
saying in the chat, where the fuck is the speed on this team? Or I'm guessing, or viable speed. Because after Sceptile, it's what? The
It's Thundurus.
Mienshao?
Oh, no, it is Mienshao. And they go.
So yeah, I mean like a 10 or 20-ish mon would be awesome for this team that's not Sceptile, because Sceptile is terrible. And then better
Okay.
ground.
Now, This is where I'm gonna come in and just lose all credibility.
Oh boy.
Sceptile, base Sceptile is
Awful.
half decent 4-point mod.
No, stop. You gotta stop. No. How
Can
do I
run-
kick him off of this? How do I kick him off?
Hey, I had it for a season.
I don't care.
Okay, and you're the guy that uses Pikachu and has 30 kills with it, alright?
True.
Okay, but legitimately though, Sceptile is a workable.
The only
Sceptile
rocker
has
is
a-
Marowak. Oh,
Right?
Jesus Christ. Wow,
That's
yeah,
what
you know
I
what?
thought-
You know
I had
what?
Sceptile once, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. I brought it as a Life Orb special attacker.
Please
and
drop
honestly, it
Ditto.
was-
Please drop Ditto and Marowak and get a better ground
Yeah,
type.
just drop Ditto
Yeah,
though. Drop Ditto though. That
Ditto
was
was so. I
awful.
told him this during the draft when he drafted like round 5, and I was like, "Dog, this mon sucks." He's like, "No, you forced prep on your opponent's team." You know what else forces prep? Having hazards on your team, having speed, having a good team.
You know what else? Yeah, you know what else forces prep? Like, legitimately some 1-point mons. Like, honestly, I would say
Oh
some
my
1-point
god,
mons.
alright, can we actually pick him?
You're getting put on.
Some
You're getting put on
1-point
mute for
mons
60 seconds. I can't
legitimately
take this
force
anymore.
More prep than Ditto.
No, you're getting put on mute. All right.
Like, obviously.
No, he's on mute for 60 seconds. All right, thanks, guys. No, I'm joking. All right, welcome back, Pickle. You're not on mute anymore.
Oh, we're back.
Persian has hazards. Just use copycat from Crow. Thank you, Crow. Yeah, you're very correct. Assist, I
Wow.
think it also gets. Yeah.
Does get
So
assists, you're gonna copy red and move.
please go get some speed, a better ground type, and drop Ditto. And I think you're pretty close. There's definitely like options here. So, yep. All right. After that, it would go to Big Roma, the Rona.
Okay, Roma is a goat, and I actually did already go through a bit of a legitimate dive through this team. So let me just come up with it. So
Well, hold on. Let me read out
My
the mons
first-
for the people listening, but then you have the floor. It's all you. Mega Gallade, Zeraora, Gliscor, Volcarona, Milotic, Zarude, Poltegeist, Comfey, Aggron, Altaria, and Lopunny. Normal.
Right, so my initial impressions were that the defense could end up being a bit iffy. Obviously, you do have Gliscor and Milotic. However, they switch in on each other's weaknesses, but they don't share any resistances. So there are a few types that can hit both of them neutrally, and I feel like that could be a bit iffy if both of them can get hit neutrally by a certain type that someone may have, like, I don't know, flying or something, just an example. Volcarona, I feel like, could end up maybe being forced to run defensive because of that. That's just me, though. Defensive Volcarona ain't exactly what it wants to do a lot. I mean, in terms of other defense elsewhere, there is also Aggron and Altaria, but those
Ugh.
are hardly ever gonna come. Offensively,
There's a whole
though,
Zarude.
True.
offensively though, this team is spicy though. Like Mega Gallade, Zeraora, they don't actively help one another, but they can both take games on their own a lot of the time. They're really good.
Zera kills like flyings for Gallade, which is helpful, but yeah, I would agree otherwise.
Yeah, Poltegeist, honestly, I think Poltegeist can thrive here.
I
I'm gonna
fucking
be
hate
honest.
Poltegeist. No, that was gonna be mine. No, that mod is ass.
I think Poltegeist gets more than enough support from other mons on the team.
Look
for it
at
to be
every
able to
other
thrive.
team. Now look, all right. Tiger, Muckalola, Kurapika has no dark type. Okay, you know what? It can win this game. Although he has.
There's
Yeah.
Weavile.
Oh, he has
Okay, but
Weavile,
legitimately though, so Poltegeist is walled by normals and darks typically. He has a Mega Gallade, a Volcarona, and a Comfey for those types,
Poltegeist
which I
is
feel
so
like
bad.
could open up stuff for Poltegeist. As you said, the one team had a Muckalola. He also has Gliscor for that.
You're never gonna get an opportunity to set up unless it's late game and everything's already almost dead. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't like that Pokemon. I'd rather you just get a better steal. Which now that I'm looking at the chat, it's exactly what Sammy said. Drop Poltegeist for a viable steal. Please get a steal that is not Aggron and don't have Poltegeist because that mon sucks.
Yeah. I actually don't mind Poltegeist though, but that's just me. And then finally, there is a decent amount of pivot, which I do like. However, the hazard removal game I feel like could be a bit better. It's Gliscor, Volcarona, and Comfey, which isn't terrible.
And Altaria.
Oh, and Altaria. How could I forget Altaria? Um, however, Gliscor, Volcarona, and Comfey, all three of those mons would much rather run other sets a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They don't want to fit Defog.
Yeah, you need one more good remover and a steel type. Yeah. Is there something that is a steel? Empoleon. Bam.
Empoleon.
I am so excited right now.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, Mr. Empoleon enthusiast. Which, by the way, doesn't he get Roost now in Legends Arceus?
No, because no Legends Arceus home compatibility.
Bruh, are you...
What did you say? I did not hear.
It doesn't get Roost yet because that would require home compatibility with Arceus.
Well, no, that's... Yeah, I'm saying when
if it comes out, I mean, in-game it gets Roost, but yeah.
Yeah, in-game it gets Roost.
That's such a buff, dude. That actually would be kind of cool. I really wish
you
he
resisted
fire, but...
It's so heat, dude. You can Agile Style Roost, heal up, and still attack. It's awesome.
But yeah, I think we can...
Yeah, I honestly like this team, though. Roma...
Yeah, no, it's a good team.
Roma, you've done good.
Do you want to go before I...
Also, just a side note, this has nothing to do with the team, but your logo is incredible. I was going to say that.
Thanks. What are you going to say, James?
You want to say something before I go on this team?
Oh, you have something to say about this team?
I hate this team.
Really?
I don't like it. The only two mons I like on this team is Mystery and Gas.
Mega Galate Gliscor.
Ooh, great mons. I think you have like a basic coming, but like you have a whole bottom half of your draft that's I'm just gonna say it's like useless pretty much. I don't like ever see a time in actual draft against competent players where you're ever going to shell smash Poltergeist and win a game unless the person you're playing against just completely misplays and gets rid of its counters. Like you just let your counters die early. That's just me. I think Poltergeist sucks. I think your defensive like Gliscor is gonna run defog every week. I don't know why you'd be running bulky Volcarona ever. It doesn't help any like defensively on your team, and then I feel like Volcarona is just shoved on here. Zero's fine. I think that's good. Zero Aura is good too. I don't know. I feel like there's so much swapping around you can do. I don't think any of these mons, other than like your defensive core, a little bit help each other that much. Zero Aura is your flying swap in,
True.
Which isn't like
Yeah,
horrific, but that's like you're gonna start.
You don't count Aggron, that's not what you want, but that would also mean counting Aggron, which is not great.
I have short-term memory, and I just don't see the bottom half of this team because it doesn't exist. And I'm also not the biggest Comfey fan. I think it fits well if you have like an offensive fairy and you just need something to like defog or stuff like that, and it's just like I don't know, dude. I just don't like the look at this team. I like Mega Glade. That's cool. That's about it.
That's a cool mon. I don't like using it, but it's a cool
Your
mon.
pivoting's fine into it.
I think your top 6 is good enough to win a lot of games, but there's almost no depth after that because Comfey's not that great. So, Comfey, yeah, very true. Let's go on to the next one, which I believe he's in the audience right now. Claude9 coming in at 3rd place for me. I believe his team's over here. Yep. Dragapult, Clef, Corviknight. We can just stop there. But even that, Nidoking, Raikou, Silvally. But honestly, that's where I want it to stop. Because this top 6 is fucking awesome. The rest of these, I mean, Chestnut's awesome.
This is a very... Actually, I don't even mind Sharpedo here, honestly. Weirdly enough.
Sharpedo sucks.
I wouldn't mind Sharpedo if your other water was not Pyukumuku.
Hey, that's the goat right there. Theo got stalled out by him the other day.
Run, rest. What was it?
It was rest, recover, baton pass, and counter. Yeah. Honestly, though, yeah, Sharpedo, just so we can say it, Sharpedo, Chestnut, Pyukumuku, Colossal, Masquerain. I love the top 6. I love Nidoking plus Dragapult, and then you have Clef, Corviknight, which is awesome together. I wish you had better fire swap-ins because Dragapult really isn't like a swap-in. It doesn't want to swap into a Willow.
Yeah, that is true. If you want a better fire swap in, you would have to run Colossal. Honestly, Colossal isn't terrible, but
or like a weird Silvally type.
I know this sounds weird, right? But you know what Mega would be cool on this team?
Glalie.
No.
Damn it.
I love Blaziken. He's cool. Okay, this is a weird one, but I think Mega Blastoise would be really cool on this team.
I'm not a big Blastoise guy, but I think that fits great because then you actually have a legitimate fire switch in removal.
It relieves a lot of it relieves a buttload of pressure from Corviknight to do other things, and Silvally if you want to bring it. You don't have to bring Silvally all the time, which allows flexibility in that front. It gives you a really hard-hitting special attacker as well. I know you have Nidoking and Dragapult, but it gives Dragapult flexibility to run Dragon Dance if it needs to. I know you need, like, you have Mega Shark for that immediate physical offense, but I don't think it's, like, the worst thing in the world for you. You could maybe trade, like, Silvally out for another physical attack or something like that. But I think Mega Blastoise relieves a lot of pressure off your team, and you can kind of work around it.
As I said, I hate Mega Blastoise. I think it's a good fit on this team. I agree with you.
I also kind of like Chestnut here, honestly. Just random.
Chestnut's dope. People sleep on that Mon. Mystery even hated. Look, Mystery hated this Mon for. I don't know if he hated, but he like definitely like he was like, ew, I don't want to use Chestnut. And I got him to use it. I think it was a Mega Mawa team, but it's a really good like. It's usually in like the lower mid tiers, but it's a really good option. It gets spikes. It gives like stuff for those higher offensive Mons. It's a cheap grass. I like it a lot. I think it's good.
Completely agree. I changed my mind on him very quickly. I used him for a season, and I would love to use him again. He's awesome. Spikes with Pult is always cool. Spikes with Nidoking. Raikou definitely doesn't hate having extra damage because I think he's a little weird in Gen 8, but he's still solid with Scald. But yeah, please get Mega Blastoise. You don't need Sharpedo. And then pick up like a Dark after that drop, and I would say this is a really good team.
I don't even hate not having a Dark just because you have Silvally. Is like the only thing. If you want to drop Silvally for an actual Dark, you can do that too. But you can get a low tier with Silvally and be fine.
Also, there's no ground on this team, which... Oh, no, Nidoking. I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
There's Nidoking.
I thought I missed that.
His Electric Resist are good too, so...
Yeah. I think we can go on to number 2. I wasn't going to put him number 1, because I am that petty. Dashing Sceptile, number 2. Garchomp, Tapu Koko, Mega Medicham, Gengar, Heatran, Umbreon, Araquanid, Serena, Raichu Lola, Carkol, and Furfrou.
Alright, so first impressions. 1. That's a very good top half. I like that a lot. Chomp is Garchomp. It's always good.
Unless you're Theo.
True.
It's reliably getting you at least a kill a game.
Unless you're me and you miss skill shot.
Other stuff I've noticed. Serena's cool. Just this is why I'm bringing it up. Don't run Rest Talk Leaf Guard in the sun and you'll be okay, alright? Cool.
He did that?
Yeah.
Dashing Sceptile is so bad, dude. Holy shit.
I just absolutely ended this man's whole career.
Yo, can someone link that replay? I will play it on the video right now. Please, someone link the replay in the chat.
Chat, find the replay right
while
now.
You're finding that, you want to say anything, Mystery?
Yeah.
My final thing. I like Carkol and Furfrou is cool.
Every single
Of course. Top 3 is fucking amazing, and then even that top 5 is great. It's a really, really well put together team. For someone who was complaining for the entire draft before it started that he got picked 9, he did great with it. So, shout out to Sep. Araquanid, I think, is fine pairing with a Heatran, because if you, for some reason, want to run Flame Body, then you have technically another Fire Resist, even though, with Water Bubble. Serena's a good ground switch in to pair with Heatran as well. I still think you're a little ground weak, because Araquanid and Serena, probably one of them at least a week is not coming. So then ground is going to be relatively spammable. Landorus with a power fly set 6-0s this team. And there's a few things you can do. But overall, I like the team. And I think he's going to be a high playoff seed, as much as I don't want to admit it.
Why? What's your beef with Seth?
I think he just complains all the time, and it just gets on my nerves. Nothing against him personally. He's always, when he got picked 9, he was talking about how he can't win the season now because he's not going to get an 18-pointer. I just think that's a pretty lame way of looking at it. And then he did because someone didn't pick it.
So
yeah, WPF with unbans. I got like pick 14 out of 16, and like I was like, all right, I'm not gonna get any unbans, but I'm still gonna like try to draft good.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do that because someone convinced me into taking Azelf, and that mon freaking blew.
Oh, well, we got the resident Azelf lover over here.
Mon's good. All right.
It's not.
Okay. I'm about to shock Mystery right now, right? I'm about to blow his mind. I think I've never, like... I love Gengar, alright? But I think you can get rid of it. Grab something else to
Whoa, this
help
is
you
like
with your ground
first
weakness.
take. Stephen A. with the shitty hot take.
Dude, I think you can get something. Like, I know it's, like, there for speed and stuff, but you have Tapu Koko and Heatran for that immediate special damage, and Tapu Koko's really good on its own, in its own right. And if
Coco's
you
only,
also
what,
have
95 special attack, and Heatran might
yeah,
be more
but,
defensive?
like, he hits hard. But, I just mean, like, if you can keep it offensive and you can keep it special if you want, just to get rid of the ground weakness and something that maybe can, like, help out a little bit. With, like, just something different. I just think, like, Gengar is great and everything, and I think it does really well just because it's, like, the fourth best attacker on this team, so it's going to have, like, really good matchups and stuff like that. But I think you could, like, possibly get something. Does anybody have him?
Have who?
He has Mega Metacam, so never mind. I forgot.
I think Gengar's fine on the team, because if Coco is going to be like, if it's more of like a roost pivot set and then Heatran is defensive, you definitely have no special offense outside of that. So Gengar definitely still fills a role, and the 110 speed is good for you.
I was also just looking at Raichu as an option as well, but I agree.
Sure.
Number one.
I believe is. I actually have to go look. I forget his name. Oh, yeah, Boldnock. Who is he still in the call or in the?
Yeah,
in the
this makes sense why Mystery put this number one.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Look at this team. It's just you incarnate with Empoleon.
I was gonna say I hate the Empoleon. I put this team here again with the assumption that there's a few moves that can be made, but the top 5 is fucking incredible. I mean, they pair so well together. This is one of the like best put together top 5s I've seen in quite a bit. I really like it. After that, I think it's a bit of a mess, but it's redeemable. Aromatisse is fine. Rhyperior, fine.
You're gonna hate me. I don't even think Empoleon's terrible here because you have really good ground swap-ins. You have really good fire swap-ins already. Like,
yeah, it's perfectly fine.
I just hate Empoleon, but yeah, he's okay. He's fine. But yeah, like Cofagrigus, he's okay too.
I think Cough can go.
Honestly, just overall, I think it makes sense. But yeah, I think there's so many points you can work with to make moves here that it's gonna be okay.
Y'all are gonna laugh at me, but I think y'all are sleeping a bit on Tauros.
I like Tauros, especially for 5 points. It's not bad. It's not like fucking FBL where they had him in 9. Like, are you shitting me right now?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I was in a league where they overrate everything, and they had him in 9 points for a season. I fucking lost my mind. Jack and Off's in the chat. What's going on?
Just wanted to say it.
I did. Absolutely, I did.
You're forgetting 5 points bibs, though.
That was built different. 5-point B barrel. Yeah, overall, the top 5 is fucking incredible. If you can maybe just look around, see what you can do, but I think you're gonna win a lot of games with this team. You have regen, you have great, just pivoting. It's a good team. Really like it.
Use me.
Slowking, Sludge Bomb, poisons are his hazards. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he has Empoleon, Cofagrigus, Rhyperior, Groudle. But I guess after that, sure. Defog is good on the team. So
this team looks good, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think we could finally get to Poltergeist. Finally, after 2 fucking hours, we can move on to Poltergeist, which a lot of people are waiting for. So let's head on over here. Let's start with the worst fucking team, maybe in the league. Predator 30. This team is dog. Mega Metacham. The first 3 are honestly first 4, or even 5.
Golbat is my best friend now.
Mega Metacham, Rotom Wash, Heatran, Crocodile, Sylveon, Amoonguss, Scolipede, Chandelure, Tyrantrum, Golbat, and Aeron.
Purple Poison.
What is...
Let's go.
This team
What
is awful.
what is this below Heatran? No, below Crocodile.
It's someone said how many points is Amoonguss? It is 11, which I think is too much.
Yeah, it's 11 points here, which is already too much.
You drafted a Heatran, and if you draft a grass with Heatran, you should definitely make sure it resists ground. I hate poison grass with Heatran, because that is now not a switch. Like Amoonguss cannot switch into like Landers if it's banned or Swords Danced up. You have Rotom, but if you run something like Gravity, there's legitimately no switch into Landers on the entire team.
Also, is there like a
triple
rule?
poison.
So wait, is there a rule where all Mons have to be level 100 here? Because if so, we could try to run Fear Aeron.
Oh my god, with the 1-pointers, I can't take anymore. I can't
Obviously,
take it.
that's why he has Aeron.
I am reading the
Flippy,
chat right now.
Is Flippy still here? Yeah, Flippy, do you want to confirm yes or no if we need to be level 100? I don't know if that's a rule. Yeah, Jack, we already did go through Curse. You were placed
They do have to
at...
be level 100. Alright.
You were number 12. Sorry, dog.
There's a rules sheet. I don't know if it says it though. There's nothing on there, but if Flippy says it, I mean, she's the boss.
Wait, he can't run Fear?
Yep,
It's
can't
level
run
100,
Fear.
so yeah, Aeron's completely useless.
Yeah.
Scolipede, even dropping, we finally got it to drop from 13 to 11. That mon is still beyond terrible. That Pokemon is garbo. His special offense is pretty awful. It's just Chandelure and like kind of Sylveon. Heatran, like, you know, it's like you're having to like kind of do it by committee. Well, yeah. I'm saying though, like, who's like the Blacephalon where you have like Chandelure, but he's slow as fuck.
You're just like
You come in and you punish it. Yeah.
It's Chandelure. That's literally what it is, and it's bad.
Chandelure is the biggest momentum trap I think I've seen in draft.
Yeah, it's a momentum stopper. It is not great, very bad in Gen 8. I think this team is garbage, quite frankly. So
I'd rather
sorry,
you
Predator.
take Lampent.
True. Chandelier is
Feel like
Poltegeist if
Lampent,
it was
man.
okay.
Don't
That's
sleep
true.
on it.
That I will agree with. It actually can hit darks and not just die. Anyone else want to say anything? Because I think I'm good. This team's bad.
Basically, I would say drop Chandelure. I guess maybe drop Amoonguss. I don't know.
Scolipede.
I would
Obviously
just drop everything after Sylveon and just restart
Yeah,
from scratch.
I agree. Everyone needs to go.
There's
Every single
nothing-
Pokemon there.
There is nothing redeemable after Sylveon. I'm sorry. Like the only one that I could possibly say could stay on the team is Amoonguss, and like Mystery said, I 100% agree with him. That Grass Poisons with Heatran sucks butt. So, like, I think you just drop all of it and you say, look, I need a rehaul, and there's so much we can work with because you can literally pair anything with Mega Medi, Rotom Wash, Heatran, Crook, and Sylveon. You just had something amazing. Now go off of it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there are so many good mons still on the board.
But like he did
Well,
it so,
actually, I don't know.
I like to put the teams that I think have like transaction potential up higher, because I think that's fair. We should give people a chance. But this team is so bad in the bottom 6, I couldn't even do that. It has to be the last spot.
It has to be an overhaul. You have
Yeah.
to pull a James, all right? It's gotta happen.
Yep. All right. After that, we go to, I believe. Yep, he is still in the chat. McGriddleso. I don't hate this team. Just ahead of time, I don't hate it.
I think Poltergeist is good. Like,
Yeah,
overall,
all
like,
up and down.
really
Other than
the biggest
Pred.
surprise to me about this team, the biggest surprise to me was how early he took Urshifu Rapid. Honestly, like
Mhm.
that just seemed weird.
But
in the
Can
moment.
I-
Mew. So, let me read the team off, and then James, it's the floor is all yours. So, Mew, Celesteela, Urshifu Rapid, Raikou, Lycanroc Dusk, Umbreon, Decidueye, Donphan, Audino Mega, Magmortar, and Dottler.
so the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you with this team is that your defense, almost all of it, is extremely passive. Like this team, I look at it, and it's just extremely, extremely passive team. It feels like Mew is gonna have to do next to everything. I think there are some like, I don't know, like I like Mega Audino. I've been wanting to use it. I've been like looking and stuff, but you have to have a team that can like support it. And I just feel like in this, it's Mega Autono is just another wasted space because you have so many other passive mons. Then why do you want another passive Mega Autono who doesn't do a whole lot?
Umbreon Mega Autono is an awful pairing. They do like
It's very bad.
relatively
Yes.
the same thing, just different typings. It's not good.
Yeah.
I think Celesteela Umbreon Mega Autono is even worse.
Celesteela is just garbage
Also,
in general.
just other things about the team. I like Donphan. I love Donphan actually as a mon.
It's a good mon.
So cool. I don't mind Raikou here actually. Raikou's pretty cool. Lycanroc Dusk is always a threat. And also, Decidueye is okay. I don't really like the mon that much, but I don't really have much to say about it because I don't really like it that much, and I haven't really used it that much. And then finally, Magmortar. I love Magmortar, man. Magmortar is so good at 4 points. I think it should be 5 points, honestly. It does a fair amount of stuff considering its point value. And then Dottler is a monster. Dottler's cool. I like
Like a
Dottler a lot.
Medicounter.
Yeah.
True.
True. Dottler. Honestly, I had Dottler one season. I legitimately brought that thing to like 3 or 4 games.
My God, how bad was your team?
I actually no, it was actually just because Dottler had a legitimate good matchup.
When does Dottler have a good matchup?
I'm gonna say.
What?
When the other team gets murdered by webs and doesn't have much counterplay to body press.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I'm not really. The reason I have this so low is I don't really see the out on this team. Like, what do you? It's like, you change, Autono, and then you have 5 points. You can't really do anything with that. You do have the extra point left over, which is cool.
I would change like a lot of this to be honest because I feel like Raikou is like your main special attacker. So because I'm only saying that just because Mew requires a little bit of setup to start dishing out a whole lot of damage, and then it also is like if you're not running it offensive to help out this weirdly passive defensive core, I would kind of James overhaul this in the fact of like just see what you can upgrade. Honestly, I don't think Celesteela makes much sense on this team if you're gonna keep Umbreon. And then at the same time, like Mystery said, get rid of Mega Autono. That frees you up some points. You can keep Urshifu if you want. I would honestly, if it was me, I'd pick one of Urshifu or Lycanroc and kind of see around there. Keep Donphan, that's fine. Decidueye, I love Decidueye. I'm starting to come around on him. I used to not be huge, but I think you could have like grass or something else that fits a little bit better on this team. I think you just have to pick and choose what you kind of want to do because it feels like you're all over the place. So I think you could free up some points. It just might be taking off mods that you like.
Yeah. Let's keep her going. I'm not sure how to help you any other way. If you need help, obviously let somebody know. All right, next up.
Also, before you go on, I just want to point out to anybody here, I love helping with draft team plans. Mystery knows. I will help anybody as well if you need it. Feel free to DM me.
Good to know. So, next up we have Kiwi Cross. This is one of the harder ones I had to place just because I like the top 3, but honestly top 4. But after that, I think it's a whole lot of mess. Mega Diancie, Zygarde, Rillaboom, Bocephalon, Hawlucha, Starmie, Galvantula, Vanillux. That's the poor man's Kyurem right there. Exploud, Skuntank, and Berserker.
Glaceon
This is
better?
a very cross draft if I've ever seen one.
Yep. Exploud, Vanillux in every low tier of the draft. Every single time. You want to take it, Pickle?
Well, for starters, I would say that legitimately the most offensive mon on this team is Skuntank or Zygarde.
It's definitely Zygarde.
Yeah.
I guess Starmie. There's no. That was my thing. Is there's like no walls, and I don't know. I don't like this team.
Which is weird. Like usually when cross drafts, there's at least one defensive mon. One true defensive mon like Blissey or Corviknight or whatever, but that doesn't happen here.
I think you're relying you want to win every game in like 15 turns, and I don't think your team's good enough to do that. Halucha's not that
Mystery?
great. Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Halucha's not great in
Halucha's
top
not
divisions.
great, and I also like Halucha even less when it's paired with Rillaboom, honestly.
I hate people when they see terrain and are like, "Wow, I can put Lucha on this team." Ah, makes me want to scream.
Yeah, like Halucha on terrain is iffy in itself, but I feel like of all the possible terrain combinations you could go with with Rillaboom is probably the worst, honestly. I don't know. Something about just the double ice weakness just feels iffy to me, especially when you have Zygarde as well.
If you're gonna go HO, then go HO. I
Yeah,
feel like
this that's the words I was looking for. This looks like a team that like it's like, oh, I want to do it, but no, I actually don't. And you just drafted Galvantula, Explode, Skuntank, like a bunch of these Garbomons.
Hunting's the goat.
Skuntank is fucking great, but no, it's still not. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this team. I just think it sucks.
It looks like he wanted to use certain mons, and that's cool and stuff. I feel like
fucking trash.
He is. He's so bad.
Yeah, it is.
And people just draft him for removal, and it's not what he wants to do. I hate it.
It's not Gen 6 OU anymore. Starmie is shit. It is beyond shit.
Starmie is not cool.
It's got nothing going on. All right, we can move on. I don't want to talk about this team anymore. It's just making me upset. I think every team from this point on, relatively speaking, is fine. But we're going to have to make fun of the person who was on this call to start, Tristan, coming in at number 9. Victini, Weavile, Keldeo, Scizor, Mega Altaria, Tangrowth, Blissey, Swampert, Garbodor, Electabuzz, and Sudowoodo. James, how about you start us off?
I like this team just because I like a lot of the mons on it. I hate Blissey. I know he's been wanting to use Blissey. I hate this mon, and I don't understand why it's on here. But I do get why it's on here, but then at the same time, I feel like it could just be better. It also feels like I think Mystery could kind of agree with this. Victini, Weavile, and Keldeo are all really good, but they're all of like, what's the word to put it? I kind of want to put it in like a sports term, but at the same time, also it's the same with Mega Alt. They're all really good players, but they're like like in basketball, you have your like your star, and then like it'll be like a Kevin Durant and then like a Kyrie Irving kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You get my gist of where I'm going, Mystery?
Yeah, I gotcha.
They're all like
they're
Kyrie.
not
the best. Yeah, they're not the best player on your team, but they're really good because of like the big guy.
You're
really
begging Victini to be the number one option.
Yeah,
you're basically asking Chris Middleton to be your number one option, and he's a great number 2 or number 3. You know, on a Bucks championship team, by the way, Bucks and 6. But
I would actually say Victini is a passable number 1 option.
Yeah, it is. It can lead a team, but do you think it can win it? Like, do you think that this team is championship caliber right now?
I just couldn't.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I would disagree.
I think since Tristan is a good player, yes, but just that if we're like, don't base it off the coach. I'm looking like directly at this team because that's what we're doing. If I looked at this team, no coach, like I didn't know, I'm just gonna like in my mind I take an average coach, right, and look at this team, and I don't think you could. I think you lose in like the first round of playoffs with this kind of team. I think you can like squeak in, and then you probably get bumped round 1.
Sammy said like, Blissey Tang is really good.
I think you guys are looking over Tangrowth and Blissey together.
Oh, I was just about to say that. Yeah, Sammy said Blissey Tang is nasty on this. I agree. I think Blissey's fine. I think this team's a little knock weak, but you have Mega Altaria, you have Weavile, Keldeo.
Justified physical Keldeo.
True. But yeah, Alt definitely is your knock switch in for sure. So getting that thing Mega'd up as soon as possible is going to be huge. Keeping hazards off the field, obviously huge. I don't like the removal because it's like you're asking Scizor to do it just about every week because Alt really doesn't want to have to. And your team's a little rock weak to begin with, so that would be my main concerns. But hey, Swamp, Blissey, Tangrowth definitely can get the job done with a little Alt and Scizor sprinkled in there.
I think I figured out what I don't like about this team, Mystery.
All right.
I think it's the forced offense. Let me explain that a little bit. I feel like you're gonna want to bring Victini, Weavile, and Keldeo to almost every single game, right? Well, then that leaves your defensive core to be kind of like give or take, because you're going to want to bring Tangrowth and Blissey together, right? And then you're going to want to bring Mega Alt, which then forces Mega Alt to run Defog, to be off like defensive. You're not like you're gonna want to have some weeks where you run DD, but a lot of the time I feel like you're gonna be forced like, oh, I'm gonna want my Mega Ultra and default because I'm not bringing Scizor because I want to bring Tangrowth or I want to bring Swampert. Like I feel like there's a lot of like it's a big defensive core by committee, but also at the same time that forces you to leave out either one of your offensive threats, which then you're not potent enough, or you're leaving out one of your defensive core members. I think that's what I don't like about it. Also, your pivot options are Keldeo, Scizor.
That's fair.
Swampert.
Well, no, Swampert. You have Swampert.
And teleport on Blissey.
Oh, teleport Blissey too. That's not terrible. And you turn Victini.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, actually,
Doesn't
you were
Electabuzz
definitely
also
capping a little
technically get teleport?
It's Volt Switch. Why would you ever run teleport?
Yeah, it gets Volt Switch. So I just asked Fade in 88 Goals about his thoughts on Shifu Lele, and he responded with, "Why are people asking me this?"
Because Crow did the same thing, and he's telling me never played in a major tour. In the team tour that I got drafted to, I beat the highest drafted person, like most points. So you can suck my fucking dick, Fade. I was drafted for like 5 points out of like 25, and I beat the 25. So suck my fucking cock. You are dog shit. You dropped because you didn't get in the top division, and keep molding. Anyway, we can move on. No, I know he's not here, Flippy, but if he ever listens to this, or if anyone wants to tell him, or
He's
clip
literally
this.
here. He's literally writing.
Oh, is he in?
Podcast.
No, he's not. He's not in the chat. He's in the. He's in the chat, not in the audience. Yeah, Fade and keep molding. Anyway, we can move on. You know what? Actually, we're just gonna put him on timeout. He don't need to be talking anymore. Give him a quick 10-minute timeout. Pack watch. Anyway, let's move on. So after we just did Tristan, we can go to Slink, because I'm not a huge fan of this team either.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
There's a lizard right in the middle of it.
A lizard? Oh,
Gecko.
Inteleon. Yeah, that mon is ass.
I have to apologize. Some joker outside thought now would be a good time to turn on the snowblower.
Oh my god. Alright, let's continue anyway. Tapu Lele, Mega Garchomp, Ferrothorn, Hoopa Unbound, Mienshao, Inteleon, Vaporeon, Talonflame, Electros, Piloswine, and Swalot.
All right, I got something to say before you go, Mystery.
Okay.
This looks like a mystery team.
No, it does not.
Because of the Piloswine Vaporeon combo.
That's true. That would be my hyper offense defense, but like,
I'm just saying. I was just gonna joke about it, but I don't like this team either. So you can go ahead.
I think this team is really bad. Inteleon is awful. I know he's been hyping it up.
Yeah.
I think Talonflame's a little bit
Really
weird,
out
but
of
I
there.
mean, I guess it's fine as a fire. Mienshao's okay. Hoopa is just such a weird mon to fit on drafts that if he works, like if it's a mon that he's, figures out, I think he'll do fine. Ferrothorn is obviously really great. Mega Chomp, I think, is really good with Skill Shot, and then Lele's cool. But just so many of these weird Inteleon, Vaporeon, Talonflame, like just something just seems off, and I'm not sure what it is. So if one of you two want to go, then
I'm gonna say what I think happened to with this draft is I don't think he had like a secure plan of what he wanted. I know he just wanted Tapu Lele Garchomp, and then he took Rotom Heat, and then did the whole big trade with Mystery, and I think it just kind of threw him off. And I'm like not blaming you, Mystery, at all. He's the one that decided to trade you Rotom Heat, but I think that like just threw his plan off because what did you trade Ferrothorn and Talonflame for Rotom Heat and Registeel?
Yeah.
I think that just like completely threw off what he was trying to do, and he kind of just threw like Hoopa on here.
He's the one that wanted to trade like before he picked Rotom though. Like he was the one that designated the trade, so that's his own fault.
It's so weird. Yeah, I think it is his fault then because I think it messed him up because like he literally is getting Hoopa in a different league that he's in. So I don't understand the forcing it on this team. I don't think it really like it's cool, but I don't think it does anything super for this team. I'd rather you have a different dark. Inteleon's butt cheeks. and then you have like a bunch of. I know he loves doing it, but you have a bunch of like four low tier mons defensively, and I just kind of don't like it.
Also,
And
this is just me, but Hoopa Unbound looks so good on paper, but then in practice, it's so just eh. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like on paper, it's like, whoa, look at those offensive stats.
Because it's too slow, and you always have to run like Scarf, and then you have to have really good pivoters, which he doesn't really have, and it's.
Ark said it died to Uxie last season. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it died to an Uxie U-turn, so that was cool. Sammy says it's a wall breaker, but he has Lele Chomp. I completely agree. He's trying to do like the expanding force shit, right? That would have to be it.
Yeah, it's probably for expanding force. He saw that on the special side. I just like exactly what Sammy said. You have two of the best wall breakers, and then Mian Xiao's a good cleaner. Why don't you have like grab another cleaner? Because the rest, Inteleon's not cleaning. I don't care. It's bad. Grab something else. Fix your speed. Because you're not gonna have
just a weird team. Not a fan. I think
y'all
this.
Forgetting about the goat. Y'all are forgetting about the goat Swalot. Honestly.
Oh my god.
True. What do you have for a well played Swalot? I believe someone said that earlier.
The very worst type.
So, I think that'd be what, those 5? I think those are like in their own. They're definitely separated within themselves, but like those 5, I think from this point on, these are all like contending teams as of right now. So if you're in this spot, congratulations. I think you have a realistic shot to win it all. We're going to start with number 7. I got Sammy. And I really want to put this team higher, but I think there's just a few things I really disagree with. Sammy, you're in the chat, so you can obviously respond to what I'm saying. We're going to go with the team first. Garchomp, Mega Gallade, Corviknight, Toxapex, Greninja, Rotom Mow, Delmise, Diancie, Centiskorch, 2-Point Duosion, and Porygon.
God, I love this top 5.
Top 5 is fucking awesome. That's why it's, this high. I like Centiskorch.
Love the top 4. I don't like Greninja.
I know you don't like Greninja, but I'm the... That's my guy, Granward. Centiskorch is my dude.
Centiskorch is GOAT. The only things I don't like here are the fact that you have double grass.
Yep.
It's a bit weird to me. It does.
I hate your electric doesn't resist flying, because your flying resist is just DNC.
Look at how much Diancie has to do for this team. I mean, it's... I don't... Diancie feels like it's such a pivotal player for no reason.
You're right. Piccolo, he does have Corviknight as well.
The hazard setting is Garchomp, Spikes, Gren, and Diancie. So if Diancie's not here, then it's really up to Garchomp to do a lot of the majority hazard settings.
You beat me with Toxic Spikes, Pex in playoffs. Pex can set too.
Well, yeah, I mean T-Spikes obviously is great. I'm talking like damaging, rocks, spikes, that kind of stuff. But yeah, T-Spikes obviously is awesome. I'm just not a fan of from Rotom to Diancie. I think pick one of those 3. I mean, maybe keep Diancie. Delmise just feels so weird on this team.
I don't think Diancie's bad. I think Rotom, Mow, Delmise, and I know you just said it, but Centiskorch, I think you can compile points and do really something good there, because I think everything else is fine. I'm not I like Diancie on this team. I just think Mystery says, if you put too much pressure on Diancie, it's gonna fail. It's not what it's meant to do. You do have Corv to do stuff, but also to your point with flying resist, Corv is a flying resist, but a lot of flying types get stuff like Heat Wave and Focus Blast and stuff like that, so it can kind of get taken over with that. But I think that if you get a better electric type, because you have 2 grasses, so you can get a better electric type and then compile the points that you have left over to get a grass type if you want it, then you could do something. I think it becomes very, very solid. But I think you need to take that pressure off of DNC for sure. I don't think the hazards are terrible, but I agree with Mystery with all the rocks. Pressure goes on Garchomp.
So just a side note. I think Centiskorch might be the new pinnacle of Sammymon. I think it's past Mandibuzz, honestly.
Can you say that one more time?
For the longest time, because I've been in a bajillion leagues that also have Sammy, which is why I always lose them. He is the pinnacle, the peak Sammymon has always been Mandibuzz, but honestly, I think now it might be Garchomp or Centiskorch.
He said Toxapex is his flying resist. Good job.
But yeah, look, overall this team is fine. Especially if you just drafted Comfort. You're a really good player. I think you're gonna do fine and be a top 5 seed, to be honest. So no real worries there. Do we want to go on to number 6 because he is in the call? Pickle Nugget. You want to talk about your team? You can read it off and give us what you're thinking.
Right, so I'd just like to preface this by saying that I was not focusing on team synergy at all. I just wanted to take mons that I thought were cool. With that out of the way, I was fully planning for like a bottom draft spot. I haven't gotten a draft spot in like top 5 in a year and a half going into this.
Nice.
So my original plan was to get Victini Rillaboom and then go from there. But that did not happen. Because I got 4th overall. So instead I took Tornadus T, which that's new for me. And then at that point I was like, alright, so I'm just going to take a Mon that goes well with Tornadus T. And maybe a few defensive Mons. And then I'm just going to make cool shit, basically. Which I feel like that kind of just ended up being the general theme of the draft. It's just like, yeah, it's pretty janky. Like, if you ignore Emolga, the speed gap goes from Mammothswine at 80 to Tornadus T at 121. That's definitely going to be exploited a few times. I can already tell you that.
Yeah.
At least on the bright side, I feel like the bulk on the team is good enough to be able to still take hits if people run Adamant or Modest as a result of that speed gap. But we'll see, that's just entirely theoretical. This could be me, but I'm just trying to think of it now. Does Klefki get spikes, or am I just like tripping?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so I have a Rocker and Mamo, Spike Setter and Klefki and Maractus, another Rocker and Dredigan.
You also have removal.
And
yeah, your removal is Torn and Klefki. I think that's and Emolga.
And Emolga, and technically Sableye if you want to get real technical, but it's kind of half removal, I guess you could say.
You scare hazards from even coming up, which I think makes it to where removal is not quite as important. It's obviously still really important, but like you're not like shitting your pants with Defog or Torn in the back there. So
I just this Fairy plus Ice go ham. Not wrong. Minus Klefki.
I was say Klefki the goat right there. We can't be disrespecting.
Klefki. Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute, I just have Klefki. That's not true. And then again, the only Fairy Ice type is Alola Tails, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
That's Alola Tails, so that's not doing anything.
I'm a big fan of Torn Zera. Sorry, I'll let you go here in a second. I just want to get a few things in. Big fan of Torn Zera. I think you drafted good bulk. Slowbro Buzzwole. I hate that they're both on the physical side. You're probably going to have to run like Spadef, Sableye. Try to get like your team just feels like it leans super physically defensive for majority of these mons. That was my main criticism.
Originally I was gonna just take a bunch of bottom tiers and have Goodra instead of Dredigan.
Ew.
But Archangel took Goodra, which kind of shut down that.
Nice.
Can I offer a suggestion to this team?
Yes.
If you drop Buzzwole and Dredigon, and you pick up a low tier ground resist, like a grass or something like that, right? You could turn Buzzwole into something like Komodo, which would be really cool for setup options for your team.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Komodo.
Come on, it's goated. But I mean, hey, if you don't want to use it, it's not a big deal. I think biggest thing is resistances for this team. You might have a little bit of trouble with. Exactly what Mystery was saying. It leans extremely physical. I love myself some Mammothswine, but this team kind of begs for an actual ground to help pair with it, and then some more offensive help around with that. I love Zera on this team. I think it does a lot for this team. It's really cool. I'm always iffy about Klefki. I'm always iffy about this one. So I don't want to tell you to take it off because it does add really cool stuff, but at the same time I hate Klefki. I think more or less, I think the team's fine. I think some tweaking to it, do some stuff. Maybe it's because I'm trying to. I also am the biggest unknown for Mega Sableye. I know it's the stall part, and that's about it. Because don't know anything about this mon. I was actually just looking at it. But
I was looking at its moveset, and this is like completely irrelevant, and I'm like never gonna run this move, but why does it get Octazooka?
I think it was an event. I'm pretty sure I looked this up before. Pretty sure it was an event. Yeah, it was an event. Okay, thank you, Glimpse. Appreciate that. So,
Yeah,
we want to keep going on then?
let's go.
All right.
Yeah, and finally, just to round it out, took a Mulga for the Tapu Koko MU.
Of course.
Got the Tapu Koko matchup.
Easy.
And also, Maractus is cool. I like Maractus.
I think Maractus is good for 2 points.
I fucking love Maractus. Cactus Goat. Very true. All right, let's head on to number 5. I have Alpha Q. Because I think his top 6 is awesome, and I think the rest sucks. Tapu Koko, Mega Scizor, Hydreigon, Cinderace, Nihilego, Seismitoad, and then Breloom, Miltank, Corsola, Galar, Xatu, and Lileep.
You did not just disrespect Breloom like that.
I fucking hate Breloom. That mon is so bad in Gen 8. It is beyond fucking terrible in Gen 8.
Breloom is cracked, man.
It is
like,
not.
Legitimate.
You're lying. You're lying through your teeth. No, it's bad.
I am the... Hello, for those of you who don't know me, I am Pickles, and I am the FDN resident Breloom connoisseur.
No.
I think Breloom is a great mon, like legitimately a great mon.
Do not fill his head with lies. You were lying. No. Breloom is ass. We're not doing this right now. Breloom sucks. Its speed tier is terrible. They're just gonna run shit like Lum. Like no one's gonna win with lead Breloom anymore. You have to do it as like a late game thing, and by then Breloom's not that good. I don't like Breloom. The speed, and basically power creep caught up to him. He's just not that good anymore. Focus Punch, sub, Breloom. Yeah, I'm sure. Anyway, Miltank can stay. The rest of them I'd like to see go. I'd like a better ground. Or, no, excuse me, not better ground. Better grass to switch into grounds. Because right now you're really like putting a lot on Hydreigon, and he doesn't really want to swap into shit. But I think you're close. I mean, this top 6 is fucking awesome, and then Miltank is serviceable, and yeah, not a bad team overall, for sure.
I mean, then again, though, resistances aren't everything, remember. Just my literal best season ever, I literally did not have a single rock resist on my team.
Nice.
My removal... Oh yeah, and my only removal option was Mega Sizz. In hindsight, I don't know how that happened, but it did.
That's pretty fire.
So.
But I mean, his removal is Koko, Scizor, Hydreigon, which is doable. And Xatu, technically.
Xatu's a go. That's my guy.
If you want to leave the Xatu in the Miltank, be my guest. Please replace the Breloom and the Corsola.
Technically, you got Cinderace too for court change. So.
That's true. Yep, you're right. But yeah, I think it's a good team. I'm not really sure what changes you want to make, but overall, solid team. That's why you're top 5. I think definitely a contender. This team and Sammy's are the tough. I could honestly see them switched, but they're both pretty good.
I would take Sammy's over just because of the raw power. But
and you're probably right. But this was at the end of the day just me looking like teams that I think can win a championship and like what they need to do to win that. But moving on, we have number 4. He is still in the call after this entire time. Archangel, I have you at 4. I don't agree with Destiny putting you at 1, but we can talk about your team. Let's see. Where did they put him on the dock? Okay, here we go. Urshifu Single Strike, Gliscor, Tapu Fini, Gengar, Mega Aggron, Azelf, Gudra, Tangela, Archeops, Jolteon, Karkle. What the fuck happened here? But top 5 is beyond incredible.
Goes downhill once you hit Azelf.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back up with Gudra, and then it's okay at Tangela, and then it goes back down again.
Gudra is so
My guy Archeops is right there, though. That's the GOAT.
Archeops is cool.
I like Archeops. I'm a big Archeops guy.
Jolteon sucks.
Karkle's cool.
Gudra, he's cool. Gudra's cool. I'm not dissing Gudra. He just has no point on this team. I'm sorry.
Oh, but Azelf does? I'm sure you're going to say that.
Azelf does!
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, Gudra has much more of a purpose than Azelf.
Azelf is speed.
He has speed.
Where?
Jolteon.
Go away, please.
Yeah, I mean, I get Azel's
Also, just a
purpose.
random thought: why is so much of this team like purple or blue?
Right? Yeah, like Gliscor to Gengar all purple. Yeah.
Let's go to Gengar, and then you have Aggron, which is like another cooler tone because it's white or gray.
And then
And
Azelf and Archeops have blue in them.
Gudra,
Yeah.
Tangela are all like blue or purple.
Archeops has blue in them too.
Dude, colorblind people are gonna fuck up against this team. They're all gonna look the same. I think it's just really solid, like the top 5. And if you could try to rebuild the bottom 6, I mean, keep one of Azel for Gudra, whatever you prioritize more in bulk or speed, and then work from there, like with whatever you get rid of. I like Archeops personally, but I know he's not amazing. I think Tangela honestly could stay too. It's just like the Jolteon, the Archeops, and one of Azel for Gudra probably need to go. Unfortunately, as much as I love Archeops, I can't defend him always. You guys have any suggestions? Because I'm not really sure. I think it's just like his top 5 is going to win a lot of games.
His hazard removal is great. His stealth rockers are very good. He's got 2 defensive and 1 offensive, which personally I love. And then Archeops, I always forget about it. And then Kurkle, let's go. I agree with you. I still think like he has. I think he looked at Gudra and was like, ooh, Spadef, because he has Mega Aggron and Gliscor defensively, like on a Bizdef, and then Tapu Fini Spadef wise. I don't really think you need much else. Gudra's fine. I think maybe just changing maybe a little bit of that. I think Gudra, if you get rid of it, can give you some points, especially with like Archeops, and you can go get something else.
Now, I actually am going to say I don't mind Gudra here because it literally can hit anything it wants with coverage. That's like so crazy.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice for the top 5 that don't have a ton of like crazy coverage. So,
like, people keep on forgetting that Gudra's physical attack is only 10 lower than its special attack.
it's definitely usable. Definitely usable. It's like the Suicune counter as well, which is always Pog. Yeah.
I think you combine like Azelf and Gudra and go get like Latias. That'd be cool.
Yo. I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, basically, if you get rid of Azelf, oh, that's cool.
Stop.
Right.
He's cool.
Rid of Azelf. Azelf is trash.
All right. Well, if you guys want me to get an @ ready, or whoever's adding Theo, get that ready because he's coming in at number 3.
At Theo.
A week 1 matchup.
What do you want me to say? We are
Just-
talking about you.
Yeah.
Behind your back.
All right, we'll see if he joins. I'll just read off his team, and then if he joins, cool. If not, whatever. But Dragapult, Clefable, Jirachi, Nidoqueen, Moltres, Porygon 2, Serena, my guy, my fucking man, Mega Absol, Lantern, Hitmontop, and Stantler with 1 point remaining.
I love this team.
Fucking love this team. I love that it has Absol on it, and it looks good. It's not like it looks bad with Absol, which is usually what happens.
See, this looks really solid. I'm gonna have a hard time prepping for this.
Nidoqueen plus Dragapult, very tried and true. Get a Nido plus Dragapult. They work really well together. Jirachi, Clefable, fucking great. He wanted to use Moltres for quite some time now. He gets to do that. Moltres is good mon. P2, Lil Gunna, my man. Teleport into Dragapult and Jirachi and all them boys. Into Absol especially, get him some pivoting opportunities. Lantern, which is my favorite low tier. Or like, if you want to call that low tier. Basically just like 6 and below. I love Lantern. We've already talked about Hitmontop. Not the best, but you can do worse. And then he loves Stantler after using him in low tier, where he got like 6 kills in 2 games with fucking banded Stantler. I think it's just really good. Like, I think this is a great Absol team, and him and Dragapult are going to do some crazy work. I think like the immediate special offense is kind of bad. Like who comes in? It's like if you run like offensive Moltres or like Jirachi, kind of Nidoqueen, Dragapult.
It's gonna be I think Dragapult's your big.
It's basically just kind of be like special by committee, if you get what I'm saying.
I think that's fine though, because Mega Absol can run it too. I think Moltres can run offensive. Porygon, funnily enough, can do some damage. Mega Absol, like I said, can run. Doesn't he get Nasty Plot?
No.
Or is it just Sword Stance?
Just Sword Stance.
Well, you could still. It's 115 special attack with amazing Bolt Beam and stuff. So.
Yeah, Sammy said Queen is good enough. I definitely think it's good. I'm just saying, like in terms of specs Pokemon, there's just not really one you can really throw it on other than Dragapult, and I guess Jirachi, but both of those are base 100 if I'm thinking correctly.
Jirachi, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am the Jirachi connoisseur of this chat right now. Jirachi does not tend to run special a whole
Exactly.
lot, and if you do, it's not. It's like Psychic, and that's about it.
Like Energy Ball for like a Quagsire, Swampert, that kind of shit. But
No, yeah, you have coverage moves. I'm just talking about stab, and never runs Flash Cannon. So.
yeah.
So just like real quick, like I'm not a big fan of Nidoqueen generally. I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
Kristen molding right now.
Can you explain why?
I'm molding.
I don't know. I just feel like it's too slow a lot of the time.
Well, if you're
I
using it
don't
as like, if you want to use Nidoking, then use Nidoking. But if you want like bulk plus the ability to hit
I
hard
prefer
when you need it,
Nidoking.
yeah.
Prefer Nidoking basically, yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
if you
love
prefer
Nidoking. I
Nidoking,
think-
then Nidoqueen's just going to seem worse. But I think they're both really good in their own right.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna hit the Tristan train here just because I also love this mon. But I think Nidoking is better than Nidoking, just in the fact of like Nidoking's great. I think he's a little bit dependent on certain stuff, but Nidoking, especially on the right team, is just so overbearing. You deal a whole lot of damage. It's extremely bulky. Most of the time, it can take even super effective hits really, really well. It can usually live one. It's you can set up T spikes, stealth rocks with it. It's just really, really, really good mon, and it fits really well in teams. Poison is also had a huge buff in this gen with fairies being rampant, so it's a fairy stopper in that.
Welcome back, Tristan. We are on Theo, who's number 3 on the best teams. So we're about to move on to number 2, where
Let's finish discussing Nidoqueen.
oh, sorry, yeah, you can go. My bad.
I was done.
You okay? Yeah, we just finished talking about like fucking Pickle doesn't like Nidoqueen, but James does. So that was the conversation. So you can hate Pickle, but yeah, we're gonna move on to number 2, where obviously I'm extremely unbiased and have myself at number 2.
Honestly, that's where you should be.
I appreciate. Look, I know it's pretty impossible to be unbiased. I'm trying to like. I really like how my team came out. I think the bottom 3 kind of suck, but Mega Lopunny,
You mean-
Latios, Lando T, Rotom Heat,
Only
Milotic.
bad mon in your bottom 3 is Armaldo.
That's true. Who just got dropped. So I'll talk about that. But yeah, Latios, Lando T, Rotom Heat, my man. Milotic, Zarude, Weezing Galar, Registeel. I dropped Armaldo for Sableye, Komala, and then Glaceon for, I don't even remember, some fucking random one-pointer.
Why'd you drop Glaceon? Oh,
Dude,
I'm very
I
sad.
had to get something for fucking Metacham. I'm not losing to Predator's ass fucking team. No way. I got it for Shiinotic, who sucks complete ass, but maybe Glaceon will come back someday.
Poor man's Kyurem right there. That's what you need.
If you guys want to talk about the team, then I can come back in with whatever I think you guys missed, then have at it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. No problem.
If I could just start off, I like top 5 a lot. I really, really, really like the top 5. However, I'm not massive on Zarude. That's just due to personal preference. Then I don't like Weezing Galar or Registeel either. Again, mostly personal preference. I don't know. It's just whenever I see that those mons on a team, it's like, oh, if that's the best choice there. I mean, obviously, you probably put a lot of thought into this, so it probably is. And also, this is just me randomly thinking because I did not prep for this at all. But yeah, I don't know. Just something about Zarude, Weezing Galar, and Registeel just doesn't quite sit right with the rest of the team for me. Because the rest of it's, like, amazing. Like, I love Komala. Komala, I think, is really good here.
Mystery, I'll let you go, and then I'll have something to say about
Sure,
it.
yeah. I also agree the top 5 is definitely the high point of this team. I think it's up there in terms of, like, best top 5s. Just in terms of, like, it has everything: speed, attack on both sides, defensive capability, removal, hazards, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, everyone from the FBL loves Registeel. That's like our token child. That Pokemon is fucking awesome. Weezing Galar is another one that's kind of in that same vein. I think it's really, really underrated. I don't know if that's the right word, but like it's really competent, really like solid at what it does. I think it has good matchup versus a lot of type of teams. Whether you want to run something like Scarf once or twice a season, which is people don't expect. It gets defog, it gets recovery, neutralizing gas, levitate. It's a little annoying to prep for. And then Zarude, I used it for the first time last season of FDN, and I didn't really get to use it a whole lot because I didn't care about that season at all. I was extremely busy with other shit going on. And I'm looking forward to giving it a full ride and like figuring out if I can use like bulk up, jungle healing, and all that kind of cool shit. So,
all right, can I go off of your Zarude thing now?
Sure.
I love Zarude on this team. I think it's great. I think you have what? I counted 5, not including Armaldo. Amazing bug swap in. So your U-turn swap in is amazing. Zarude is so good on this team. Dark is really good. It's an amazing speed tier. It fits that Mian Xiao speed tier. 105 is just such a great speed tier in general. If it's that speed tier, you can run it Scarfed if you need to. It is so free to run Scarf. It can run bulk up. It can run your jungle healing. You can run jungle healing and synthesis with Dark Stab. I think it's amazing on this team. I love it. I love the pickup. I like this team a lot. The bottom 3 are to be desired. I know you changed it for, like, literally did the same thing I did, which we'll talk about here soon. But I think Registeel's great on here. Just because you're pairing it with an already really good defensive core, so Registeel can just come to the matchups that it wants to come to and do really well. It can run on offensive body press. With the Iron Defense setup, your setups, I really, really like this team. And this is also, for the people, like, I know you guys know Mystery a little bit more than I think you do. I'm one of Mystery's really good friends, I like to think. But this is, like, all of these mons is just his comfort level. He even told me, he's like, we all make fun of him for drafting Rotom Heat like every other draft.
That's my
but like
Yeah,
all of these mons are extreme Mystery comfort. He loves Megalop. He loves his boy Lottie. Landorus, he will always be huge on Rotom. Milotic, he won't ever really talk about, but Milotic is one of his go-to water types when he needs it.
3 championships.
Exactly. Weezingale, I've seen him use it. It's not like a super comfort pick, but it's something I know he's used and he's okay with it. Registeel's, like he said, FBL, like Wolfpack love child. And then he used Zarude before and wants to use it more, and like I just said, I think it fits really well. I could see Mystery easily sweeping the league with this team just because of how comfortable he is and how good it is. So if somebody's going to stand up to him with it, you have to play and prep just extremely well for this team. And I know, like I said before, rating the team without the coach. Without the coach, I think this team is really good. I think it fills a lot of boxes. There might be a little bit of gaps here and there with different stuff. But with the coach, I think this team is just out of this world, like, great. So that's what I have to
Making
say
a grown man cry over here.
Not even trying to just hype up my friend or anything like
I
that.
appreciate it.
I know how you play way
I
too
have
well.
one
Go ahead, sorry.
recommendation.
Sure.
At what week do you play Predator?
Week 2.
After week 2, drop Shiinotic, pick
Yep.
up Pikachu. That is an order.
If I have a transaction by the transaction deadline and Pikachu is still out there, I'll pick him up for you, okay?
Let's go.
Not wasting a transaction slot on Pikachu if I don't have to.
I mean,
Anyway.
we have a whole 7 of them, to
Well,
be
now
fair.
now 5, because I made that
Got changed
transaction
back.
today. But yeah,
Got changed. Oh, yeah, right.
we can move on to number 1, who's also in the call. James wasn't even really supposed to be here to start. I'm going to be honest with you. That wasn't the plan, but he's here. And James, I think your team it's relatively standard, but it's really good. Do you want to read it out and talk about it?
So, Mystery knows this team. This is so funny to say. This team wasn't supposed to be good in the beginning. It was supposed to have a good like top and then a terrible bottom because I wanted to use mons that I like, and like I like FDN, but I had last season, but I had to stop because I got extremely busy, so I ended up forfeiting my last 3 games or something like that. And I just wasn't like into the league. I'm really excited because a lot of my friends are here and stuff, and the drafts seem all cool and stuff like that. But basically, I went into this draft. I didn't even I signed up like 4 days before the draft. I didn't make a plan until draft, like my second pick, which Mystery knows is not like me. I usually make
No.
plans really early. I love how it came up though, because I really wanted to use. I'm the big person. I want to try every single Mega, so I've never tried Mega Mall Out. Fun fact. Did that. I know Zapdos pairs with it. I'm pretty good with Zapdos too. Never used Kyurem. Wanted to use that, and I know that it fits really well offensively with those two. And then Infernape. Wanted to pivot. I love my boy. That's my guy. And then it was supposed to change. Like after that, I've had like 4 or 5 different things. I wanted to use Azelf. I wanted to use all these other Mons. Um, I can't remember what water I had. Swampert, that's who it was.
I got
And then Tristan took it, and then I kind of just was like started drafting things. So I had Slowking and Mandibuzz because it fit well with the cores. I needed speed, so I took Serperior, and I needed a ground that resisted like a really good rock resist, so I took Rhyperior, which resist rock. And then I just picked up Ambipom for a normal, and I needed speed. I ended up my transactions, I changed it to Spiritomb. Ambipom and Floette changed to Spiritomb and Wigglytuff. I keep the normal type, and then I gained Spiritomb because my Mega Medi matchup was really, really bad. So picked up Spiritomb for that, which is a niche option. But I really, really like. I'm very, very vibing with this team. At first, when I first drafted it, I was kind of meh. But Phil checks all my boxes. So I'll let Mystery talk about what he likes more about the team, but it checks all my boxes I like as a battler. I love the pivot options. I'm very big into pivot, and it pivot into Mega Mall Kyurem is always good. Yeah, and I'm comfortable with a lot of these mods as well. So
that was going to be my point. Is
Cool team.
You can go. I'll go after you. Don't worry about it.
It's a cool team. It gets 6-0'd by Mamoswine though. Honestly,
right.
I do like this team though. I like it quite a bit. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I would place probably Mystery and Theo above this, but this is definitely still a good number 1. There isn't really any glaring flaws with this team, is the thing. It's still an incredibly solid draft, despite what I just said. I really, really like this. It looks great. I'm just like, oh man, I'm still kind of mish that you sniped Superior from me. That wasn't very cool of you.
I overrate the fuck out of me. I guess I shouldn't say overrate. Every Mega Mawile team I put under a very big microscope, and I think this team does a really good job of pivoting into him, like he was saying earlier. Like, just so many good options of U-turn, teleport support into it, Volt Switch with Zapdos. Like, the top 2 Mawile Zapdos makes a ton of sense to me. I like them a lot, and then you got other speed options. I wish there was like a 130 somewhere, but at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. You just have to kind of work around that.
I'm okay with that just because I have decent Scarfers.
Yeah, it's just, this is like bulky offense. I like it. It's a good team.
Also, another Mon that I absolutely love is Infernape. That Mon is insane, and I love it so
agree
much.
with you on Mon. This Mon is great.
It's so good, which is
Also,
weird because I have this one friend. I have this one friend who underrates the hell out of Infernape. Says that thing should be 13 points, and I agree with them violently on that.
13 for Infernape? Suck my ass. No.
I'd pay 13 for Infernape.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I would too. I'm taking him round 2.
I would honestly, I would pay 16 for Infernape, but that's kind of pushing it.
I think he's just the perfect 15 pointer.
Yeah, he's like the perfect 15, honestly. Yeah, this is a very good draft. Just randomly, I like Rhyperior as a Mon. I don't know. I've had a soft spot for it for some reason. Like when I first got into Pokemon or whatever, for some reason I looked at Rhyperior and I'm like, this one's my favorite. This one's like my absolute favorite in the world.
It's not
and then
Pikachu? Holy shit.
Then after a month, I looked at Lucario and was like,
oh,
you know what?
here we fucking go.
And then after a month, I looked at Lucario and was like, nah, I'm gonna be basic. And then after another year, I looked at Volcarona and I'm like, this one's better. And then now, because of draft, it's probably either Slowbro or Pikachu, one of the two.
Wow.
Those
I've been an Absol lover since I was like 8 years old.
Absol's cool though. Absol's
Does
good.
anybody in this chat know that what my favorite Pokemon is?
I do.
Yes, Ark does, and Mystery does.
All right. Anyway.
Oh my God, Ark got it wrong, bruh.
We've been recording for over 3 hours. I am fucking tired. I need to like detox my brain from talking about Pokemon.
No way. We're staying in chat and we're talking more.
No, I'm good. I hope you all enjoyed. There's going to be more of these that are going to be much shorter going forward. We're going to talk about games, transactions, all that kind of stuff.
This is absolutely going to be the longest one of these.
No question. No question. So, if you stuck around, I really appreciate it. Make sure you drop a sub. I believe Flippy made the channel that this is going to be uploaded to, so make sure you drop a sub over there. And, yeah. James, you want to plug anything before we go?
Yo, he knows it.
Subscribe.
My Wind Razors channel. If you guys ever want to come over to NCL, see what's happening. That is Mine and Mysteries League. We own a league, so yeah.
Yep.
So I'll also have my YouTube is Wind Razors. Wind Razors on YouTube, and I post a lot of analysis videos and stuff over there as well. So go check it out.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
See.
Wait, subscribe to your YouTube channel?
Posted.
Whatever. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for watching, and talk to you all later. You guys have a good one. Peace.